Yeah. What's up? It's that boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building. We back. New meeting today, USA Boxing. We are back. What's happening, man? What's going on? What's going on, everybody, man? You walking in the door, make sure y'all hit that like button for the old boy, man. New to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. We're gonna have a good one. Happy Sunday for everybody. Happy Sunday for everybody. Shout out to Arlette. I see Arlette say she cooking dinner. Shout out to Real Talk with the Lick Reed, fam. What's going on? Shout out to Fast Car 80, Jumbo Slice, the Bishop Don Magic One with the Lick Reed. Shout out to Jess Blaze, Little Green Eyes P, Halim in the building. Big Blunts in Boxing. What's going on, fam? What's going on? Salute to you, fam. Knockdown 305, Dade County's finest. Shout out to, damn, see, like I got some of my eye right here. Yeah, man. Salute. Nelly content. What's going on, everybody, man? Hey, look, they had some fights yesterday. Not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. Shout out to Damian Bennett. Not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. Shit. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I gotta sit back and I got a chance to catch some highlights. But yesterday I got away from boxing. I worked through when I had COVID and stuff. I didn't take no time off. So I just, sometimes, I do that. You know what I mean? If it ain't no big fights, I just go ahead and just, some shit. I just have to like back up, reset the brain and stuff like that. And I'm doing my classes now. I'm in school now too. So, I just had to do a reset. The day's my son's birthday yesterday, though. So we did something with my son yesterday on little Malachi. Little Kai, man. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, let's give everybody a round of applause. And let's talk about these fights. As a matter of fact, I need to see exactly who all fought. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of let me see something. Let me go here. I'm saying like on the undercards and stuff like that. On the undercards and stuff like that, guys. Let me see results. Why I can't find? I normally used to have like the schedule. Oh, okay, here we go. I talked to the people. You guys let me know. I don't know who all was in who all was on these fights. All of the undercard fighters and stuff. I don't know any of that. I'm not gonna say a lie to you. All of the undercard fighters. I know Big Baby Miller. Not Miller. Anderson fought. Jared Anderson fought. F.A. Jogbach fought. I'm really not impressed with Jogbach at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just a big slow dude. He's a prospect. He's still a prospect, but I'm not. I'm just being honest with you. He got power, but that's about it. I saw the stoppage. I saw the stoppage that he got, and he barely hit the dude. He caught him with a 2-piece, and the dude just laid down, just kneeled down. Maybe he was tired and exhausted. It is what it is. Some people are saying that Jared Anderson, he ain't fought nobody. Some people saying he ain't really look that good. And I like Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson is one of my favorite young prospects coming up. I think he only has like 12 fights. So he is one of my favorite young prospects coming up. Some people are saying that, hey man, is he a hype job? Is he another Edgar Berlanga? Is he another Jaime Munguia? He only had 12 fights. Some people are saying they're not impressed with him. He ain't all that. And I'm like, well, shit, if that, some people feel that way. So I just want to see what the people say. Shout out to Bruce Gas in the building. I saw some of the fight, Richard Comey, and I did see some of that fight. I fell asleep, to be honest with you, but I saw some of it. I think I saw like the last 3 rounds of it and something like that. Saw like the last 3 rounds. I didn't see the first 9 rounds, so I really can't judge it. I do know that it was a draw. A lot of people thought Comey was going to get knocked out. A lot of people overwhelmingly, because they didn't know how much punch resistance that he had left. And a lot of people thought very, very highly of Pedraza, thought he was just going to just wash Comey. Come to find out he didn't do any of that. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Shout out to Big Blunts. You say he need better comp, like what I seen before. Apparently Bob Arum has better comp coming for the next fight. I would like to. Hey, Big Blunts, I would like to see him in the ring. I would like to see him in the ring with F.A. Jogbach, since since a lot of these guys are hyping him up, F.A. Jogbar. Okay, but throw Jared Anderson in there with that dude. Throw him in there with F.A. Jogbar. Some of these UK fighters. What the dude name is? Daniel Dubois. You know, Daniel Dubois. I'm not impressed with Daniel Dubois at all. But he got a strong fan, but I ain't impressed with him at all, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you. He ain't all that at all to me. He's an average fighter, average fighter. But you know, the guys who getting the hype, throw him in there with those guys, and let's see what he got. You see what I'm saying? Let's see what he got. Yeah, let's see what he got. Throw him in there with those guys, and let's see what he got. I kind of, you know what I mean? I want to see what the kid got. I like him though. I like him. I like Jared Anderson. I like him. I really do. You know, in America, we ain't got nothing over here anyways. We ain't got nothing over here anyway, just being honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't nothing here. You know, in the heavyweights, it just ain't nothing there. It's the two top guys is Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. And then there's the next tier. You'll probably say Joshua and Wilder. And then after that is just the other guys. You get what I'm saying? So the two top guys in the heavyweight division is Usyk and Fury. And they have to fight each other for heavyweight supremacy. That's how this shit works. They have to fight each other for heavyweight supremacy. You know, and that gets rid of all of the arguments. That get rid of, oh, Tyson will do this, he's too big, he'll do that. But ain't nobody fought him, but he hasn't fought the other guy. And then the other guy, he'll do this and do that. He's too quick, he's too fast. You know, how we get rid of all doubt, the fighters got to fight each other. I'm old school. I don't believe in giving fighters fights without them earning it. I don't believe in saying a fighter will automatically beat another fighter because I say so. Because I really like this fighter. I have a man crush on this fighter. So my man crush is so strong for this fighter, I automatically know he'll beat this other guy. No, I don't automatically know shit. Where I'm from, you don't win fights by assuming or guessing or thinking or the eye test, all that shit, all that other shit that people be using. Nigga, fuck the eye test. If he's as good as you say he is, throw his ass in there. Let's see what they got. You get what I'm saying? That's how I see it. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Thug and D in the building. Shout out to Thug and D in the building. Shout out to Thug and D in the building. Shit. The last unified American heavyweight champion. Who's the last American heavyweight champion? Unified. That was Evander Holyfield, right? Was that Evander Holyfield? No, that was Rahman. I think Hasim Rahman was the last unified heavyweight champion. Hasim Rahman. I think that's it. For whatever that's worth. And Rahman, he was an all right fighter back then. I'm not gonna lie. He had power. He had power and stuff like that. But I think that was the last, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the last unified heavyweight champion. It was either Rahman or Holyfield. I think it was Rahman, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though. Let's go ahead and read. Let me read my open soliloquy. Let me do this. Let me read my open soliloquy. Is Jared Anderson overrated? Or is Jared Anderson the real deal? Richard Commey and Jose Pedraza ended in a draw. What's next for both of these guys? Is Jared Anderson the real deal? Will Jared Anderson become the future of the American heavyweight, heavyweights, right? As you know, the kings of the heavyweight division are Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. Those are the kings of the heavyweight division. And until they fight each other, there will be only two kings in the heavyweight division. That's how I see it. They got to fight each other. One man has 3 belts, another man has 1 belt. 2 non-American heavyweight champions who are dominating the heavyweight division. When it comes to the American heavyweight boxing, the pickings are very slim. Jared Anderson said in a recent interview that he would love to fight the winner of Andy Ruiz and Louis Ortiz. We'll see if our brother Jared Anderson will become the future of the American heavyweight boxing scene. We'll see if he'll become a future American heavyweight champion, just a world champion. We'll see if he'll become a world champion soon. We'll see. He only have 12 fights, right? We've been getting a lot of hype coming out of Top Rank. And me, I like the guy a lot. I'm not gonna. I like the guy a lot. But me being, right now we're looking at both sides of the coin. We're gonna look at both sides of the coin. That's what we're gonna do today, right? You know what I mean? Now, Richard Commey versus Jose Pedraza ended in a draw. I saw the last 3 rounds. The fight went back and forth, for what I was hearing. Some highlights I saw. Most people picked Pedraza to stop Commey. Some even picked him to win a unanimous decision. However, the fight ended in a draw. Who do you guys think Commey and Pedraza should fight next? And let's get into the show. Let's get into the show. Let's get into the show. Let's see. What to say, fam? He say Morris, he started. Oh, you talking to somebody else. You talking to somebody else. Shout out to my sister Arlette in the building. Arlette's in the building. Salute to you, sis. Dr. Paul Evans, Major Kickboxing, what's going on? Halim said he's only 22. He's only 22. Okay, big baby. Okay, all right. Rico Ransom, what'd you say? You said, I don't think he's overrated. He's young, up and coming. Jared would be fine. Seems like he has a, what'd you say, fam? Seems like he has a good head on the shoulders. Yeah, I like him a lot. I like Jared Anderson a lot. I'm not going to lie. He like when I think of the American heavyweight scene, I look at him as, you know what? You know, let's see what this kid got. Let's see what this kid got. Let's see what he got. Shout out to Arlette. You say Pedraza has no KO power. I think you got that mixed up. No. Some people were saying that he would stop him. Some people were saying that. Wasn't nobody picking Commey that I knew of. You know what I'm saying? All that. So no, I'm dead ass serious. Like we had a show Friday. Some people were saying that shit. I haven't seen some content creators saying that. I'm dead ass serious. Shout out to MC. He said, I hope Jared Anderson develops well. God knows we need a good American heavyweight. Yeah. He said that doesn't act like in race bait crybaby. Okay. Big Blunts, what you say, fam? Big Blunt say, Coach, that fight was truly a draw. He said we were watching the fight on Jim's channel, and we had Commey up till about the 9th. Pedraza defense was the difference. That was the difference maker. Yeah, I saw the last 3 rounds, Big Blunts. I got to go back and see it again. What you say? You said they're going to run it back? Okay, let them run it back then. Aaron, what you say? You say Anderson can be the real deal, but too early to tell. He needs more challenging fights. You know what though? I totally agree with that. I think sometimes, like the kid has only had 12 fights. The kid has only had 12 fights, and sometimes people be like, "Oh man, he ain't this, he ain't that." I'm like, dude, the dude only had 12 fights. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't depict, it's like a guy, like how do you judge a guy who's only had 12 fights? I mean, you can't judge a guy who's only had 12 fights and compare him to just some of the whoever the top guys is now, whatever. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? But he's only had 12 fights, so I always take that into consideration. Now, if he's like his 16th fight or 17th fight, about 17th fight, and if he is who they say he is, then throw him in there with F.A. Jabba, throw him in there with this hype train they call Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz, throw him in there with the boogeyman of the division. I do say that facetiously. You guys know I'm joking. I don't blow that out of the water many times. Let's see. Throw him in there with Daniel Dubois. Throw him in there with Joe Joyce. Throw him in there with the Juggernaut. Let's see what he got against the Juggernaut, right? Throw him in there with Joe Joyce. Throw him in there with, throw him in there with these other guys. I'm saying later on down the line, but right now he can fight F.A. Jabba. Throw him in there with F.A. Jabba. They remember when F.A. Jabba was with the PBC, they were hyping this dude up like he was the next Muhammad Ali / Joe Louis / Rocky Marciano. They was hyping his F.A. Jabba. And I think they was doing that because he was with the PBC. Anybody signed to the PBC is the next. Oh, you say super chat? I missed the super chat? All right, let me get that. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for reminding. Mr. Super Chat. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Shout out to Nessa Ramirez.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Nessa, what you say, family? He said the eye test. We already know my fighter would beat that fight. you already know, dog. You already know. That's about it.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
That's about it. This day and age, you ain't even got to fight a motherfucker. Just he passed the eye test. He passed the eye test. That's it. That's it. And the crazy part about it, the eye test is subjective to the individual. The eye test is subjective to the individual. If it's a fighter you don't like, no matter how good he is, my fighter will beat him. And whatever flaws or deficiencies that your favorite fighter has, you will totally ignore that because of your confirmation bias. So, you know, my thing is throw them all in there, put them in the pot, throw them all in there, and let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. That's the way I see it. Shout out to Big Blunts. What did he say? You said, yeah, always hard to tell if a prospect is the real deal or not to say so early on. Yeah. It'll be the competition that determines that. You hit the nail right on the head. The competition determines whether a person is the real deal or not. It's like, shout out to Lady Shan. Lady Shan is in the building. Lady Shan is in the building. The competition determines whether the person is the real deal or not. How do you judge whether the competition is good? Because there's so many arguments in boxing today. And it's like, bro, like, boxing today, even from an argument standpoint, is so flawed. Because, and I was listening to my brother. Listening to my brother Blood Boxing, and he talked about the ranking systems are fake and all that stuff there. Okay, cool. Ranking systems are fake. So, and then I think, I do think this, right? Like, when you rank a fighter, how do you go about, let me see. When you rank a fighter, how do you go about ranking them? Somebody sent me a text. So, how do you go about ranking a fighter then? If the ranking systems are fake, and they've already, you know, and you know how these ranking systems are. Like people like Don King back in his day, he used to pay to have fighters, you know, thrown on the ranking systems. All of his fighters, a fighter may not be ranked one day. Next thing you know, they're in the top 10, the top 15, and all that stuff there. It's always been where you can pay the sanctioning bodies and have fighters move up and down and in different places on the ranking system. That's always been there. So it's not just today's time. It's been like that when Ali was boxing. It's been like that before Ali was boxing. It's been and all the way then. So, you know, and I'm just going off what my brother Blood say. If the ranking systems are fake, they've always been fake. So once we throw the ranking system out of the window, the next criteria is, okay, how do you judge whether the fight is good or not? Like, how do you come to the conclusion that this guy is good, but this guy, you know, is not that good? If, you know, like, how do you come to that conclusion? You know, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and if he fight this guy, because the thing is, if he fight this guy, you'll say, well, that fight he ain't nobody. We'll throw him aside. He ain't nobody. He really wasn't all that. And then it takes away from the fighter that you say, that other guys say that's good. You get what I'm saying? It'll take away from that. Those fighters say that's good. So how do you go about judging the fighter today? How do you guys go about judging the fighter? That's a good question. That's a good question. How do you go about judging the fighter today? Let's throw the rankings out of the way. How do you go about judging whether a fighter is good or not? You get what I'm saying? What you say, real talk. So when they say all American, they must mean white or black. Yeah. I don't know, man. You know, these guys stuck on that color shit. You ought to know that. Passionate. You say Jared took some big shots. Hope he learned a little something. I know, but he been out of the ring in a minute. Yeah. I saw some of the highlights. Rico, what did you say for me? Say Jared coming off an injury too, coach. I forgot about that. Yeah. You know what? I forgot about that too. Haleen, what did you say? You say boxers fight the top 10. He gets the ranks. Yeah, but I totally agree. I got you on that. But this shit is all over the place. You get what I'm saying, Harleen? It's all over the place. Because I would listen to my brother Blood. He said the ranking systems are fake. So the top 10, that's fake too. It's a ranking system. So if all of it is fake, and the ranking system has always been fake if that's the case. It's always been fake if that's the case. You get what I'm saying? Because when Ali was fighting, those was fake ranking systems. Especially when Don King was the promoter. All that shit was fake then. So hear me out though. Halim, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with all of it being fake. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that. But I'm making the argument anyways. If we go by this narrative that all of the ranking systems are fake, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. That means they have always been fake. When Ali was boxing, they was fake. When Sugar Ray Robinson was boxing, they was fake. When Marvin Hagler was boxing, they was fake. We got to go by that. So now, once we get by the fake ranking systems that's always been here since the beginning, since the beginning. Now, how you go about judging whether a fighter is good or not? Because fighters that's in the ranking systems that are fake, we can't use the ranking system to judge whether they're good or not. So how do we go about whether they're good or not? The only way you can do that, they got to fight each other. But then if another fighter fight another fighter, let's say another top guy fights another top guy, then that'll be an argument. Well, this dude that got beat, he really wasn't that good anyway. So we'll discredit the other fighter. You get what I'm saying? Like, this shit is all over the place. It's all over the place. What it say, Marquis? What it say? He said, rate a fighter just like you score a fight. The more boxers, I can say the more boxers a fighter check, the better the fighter is. Okay. Yeah, I got what you're saying. Rico Ransom, he say facts. Them rankings are political, coach. Just think of the WBC era and Thurman as an example. Yeah. They just threw Thurman up there as number one. So that supports what my brother Blood was talking about, that the ranking systems are fake. You just threw Thurman up there ranked number one. Just threw him up there. What'd you say, Halim? You say that's what happens in boxing all the time. Yeah, that's always been that way. That's always been that way. This is what I'm saying. This has nothing to do with today's ranking system. It's always been like this. Is what I'm saying. And then how do you decide which time to argue? That's discredit this fighter. Don't look at where he's ranked because it doesn't mean anything. But then we're gonna look at this fighter and say he's ranked pretty high. Like, when do we decide when to accept the ranking systems and when not to accept the ranking systems? You get what I'm saying? This shit is confusing. To me. I'm saying if we go by that argument, and I'm not going by that argument. All I'm saying is it's always been like that, though. It's always been like that. And this is why I tell you guys this. What do I always say? Who you fight matters. I always say this. Shout out to LF. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What to say, fam? He said, why do Mexican-American boxers not get identified as American? Andy Ruiz, Virgil Ortiz, Ryan Garcia, etc. Andy, last American champ, Mexican descent. Hey, you know what? LF, that's a damn good question. But I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of the Mexican-American fighters, they don't identify as American. They always say, they always talk about their proud Mexican heritage. They always say Viva Mexico. A lot of the Mexican-American fighters, they don't even claim America. They claim Mexico, even though they're not born, even though they wasn't born in Mexico, they was born in America. A lot of those Mexican-American fighters, they don't claim America. Even though they're from here. They're not Mexican. They from Mexican descent. You're right about that. But they're not Mexican at all. They're born here, but they don't claim it. They always claim Mexico. So I think that's why. I think that's the answer to your question, fam. I think that's the answer to your question.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
You get what I'm saying? They 100% American. You don't hear them say nothing about, I represent USA. I'm proud to be America. Anytime you hear the Hispanic fighters talk that was born in America, they don't say nothing about America. They always they'll claim Mexico. They'll claim Mexico. That's what they do. And they wasn't even born there. So I see why you're saying Andy Ruiz was the last American unified champion. You're right about that. You're 100% right about that, fam. You're 100% right about that. But they don't claim that. They don't claim that. Somos mexicanos, no importa donde nacimos. Sí, claro que sí. Yo entiendo. Yo entiendo. Es no importa. You know what I mean? De los mexicanos. No todos, pero solamente un poco a poco. Pero en boxeo hoy, yo creo que los americanos aquí, they Hispanic descent. Yo no sé por qué. No sé. They don't claim. You know what I mean? America. Yo no sé por qué no eso. You see what I'm saying? So, lo siento así. You know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, dog. Like they don't bro. Like when they win fights, they don't claim the shit. You know what I mean? Es no sé para tanto conmigo, pero yo lo digo. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Bro, like, you know, like, and I said this before. Like, and I think that's the answer. This is why when Andy Ruiz won the heavyweight title, I don't think they said he was the unified American heavyweight champion. They said he's the first Mexican or American. That's what they said, the first Mexican, something like that. That's what they say, bro. That's what they say. I'm dead ass serious. You know what I mean? I'm dead ass serious. So I think that's why, fam. I think that's why. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. So, guys, let me put. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Jose, ¿cómo tú andas? Sí, claro, más o menos. ¿A qué hora tú lo quieres hacerlo? Mañana por la tarde es un buen tiempo. Si lo quiere, me conoce aquí a las 12:30. Yo estaré para allá. No, aquí. Yo estaré aquí. Okay. All right. Yo no sé por qué ella está enojada contigo. Es entre tú y ella. Yo no tengo que hacer nada de eso. Está bien. Okay. Mañana por la tarde. A las 12:30. Okay. All right. All right, bye. Yeah, man. This my main man, Jose, man. This is my main man, Jose, y'all. I got my dog coming over. Hold on. But you get what I'm saying? Like a lot of those guys, they don't claim America. They don't claim America. They don't. I'm just being real, dog. Like, let's look at some of these results. Who all fought last night? We know Jose Pedraza and Comey fought last night. Who was on the undercard? Who was all on the undercard of that? Who was on the undercard? I know. Let's see. We got F.A. Jabba and Big Baby Anderson. I don't know who all was on the undercard. I didn't see the shit. I didn't see the shit. Shout out to one Mr. Ham. He said, "What's up, my people?" One Mr. Ham, what's going on, fam? You get what I'm saying, though? Thuggin' D, you feel what I'm? Hey, Thuggin' D, you get what I'm saying? Like, how do we? He said, "Coach, doing that plug." No, I ain't talking to no plug, man. I ain't talking to no damn plug. He said, "Oh man, I ain't talking to no damn plug." He said, "The plug." hey, hey, man. I'll shout out to Nessa Ramirez.
Hey, okay.
Put up in that quarter of a bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat
He
received.
said the plug.
Playtime's over, boy.
Nessa say he said Mexican American fighters claim America. Most Mexican Americans won't support them. Mexican version of those Wakandas. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. If a Mexican American fighter claims America, then they look at it. Los Entes de lo México. Se sienten que they're not claiming their heritage. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you, dog. I got you.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Damn, you know what? I didn't even know that. Damn, so that's kind of like they look at him as a sellout. Oh, he ain't claiming Mexico. He claiming America. He's claiming the gringos. Los gringos, para allá. He's claiming los gringos. Para allá. He's claiming the gringos. You see what I'm saying? So that's probably how they look at it, huh? That's probably how they look at it. That's probably how they look at it. Shout out to LF.
Hey, okay.
Put up in that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Yeah, you say Rebel R versus Abdullah Mason was fire. Yeah, I gotta check that out. It's amazing you mentioned Abdullah Mason's name. I gotta get in contact with his father. As a matter of fact, let me hit him up now. Hold on.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hold on, let me hit him up now. See, can I get in contact? His father's name is Val Mason. Let me see if I can get in contact with him. Hold on, guys. Let's see what's up. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get the kid on. It's 5 of them. It's 5 brothers. Abdullah Mason. It's 5 of them. All 5 of them box. Their father's the one that got them in boxing. So, let's see. I'll leave a message. I have to send him a text. It went straight to voicemail. I sent him a text. Let me see can I get him on there. See can I get him on the show. Shout out to Con Shannery. Oh, you talking to Haleen? SC, you say what about De La Hoya? You know what? When De La Hoya was fighting, I'm gonna be honest with you. When De La Hoya was fighting, De La Hoya claimed East LA. He claimed East LA. And a lot of the fans, the boxing fans from Mexico, they didn't like Oscar De La Hoya. A lot of you probably didn't know that. A lot of you new guys been watching boxing. When Oscar De La Hoya was fighting, the Mexican fan base did not like Oscar De La Hoya. Especially when he beat and what's my main man, Julio Cesar Chavez. I think he beat him twice. I think he beat Julio Cesar Chavez twice, if I'm not mistaken. I think they fought twice. Especially once Oscar De La Hoya beat Julio Cesar Chavez. Oh, they hated Oscar De La Hoya. They said he wasn't a real Mexican. He wasn't Mexican. I'm telling you what I know. This is what was going on back then. Oscar De La Hoya did not get accepted. With the Mexican boxing fan base. They did not accept Oscar De La Hoya at all. They said Oscar De La Hoya was a gringos. You know, he was a pretty boy. He spoke very proper English. He spoke good English, real good clean cut image. Yeah, they didn't like him at all. I'm telling some real shit. Anybody tell you that I'm lying, they lying. When he beat Chavez, they really hated him then. He beat Chavez nice. You say Tiger Johnson, Abdullah Mason, Kid Austin, the new breed. Yeah, for sure. The new breed coming up. Boxing conversation. He said Oscar looked like a gringo to them. Yeah, they didn't claim him. Haleen, so what? Canelo, Mexican or American? Canelo's from Mexico. Passionate. What you say? Say you're right. Mexican chose Chavez over De La Hoya. Yeah. They didn't. De La Hoya was the first American fighter with Mexican descent. He represented America. Because he was American. He was born in America. Wherever you're born at, that's your nationality. Shout out to LF.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What to say, family? Say our fathers generally no, but younger, yes. Talking about Hoya.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to Giovanni. You see a lot of Native Mexicans don't like Mexican Americans, just like most African Americans clown Native Africans. The politics and Giovanni, the racial politics, and this is why I try to, like, in boxing, I try to always bring it back to the skills, Giovanni. You notice that? I always try to bring it back to the skills. Because when you start getting caught up in where a person is, where he from, what he look like. Shout out to Lady Shannon in the building. You get what I'm saying? And especially over here in America. Over here in America, it's so divisive. It's so racially divided. It's so you have the American culture, then you have the subculture of the American culture, and then you have subcultures within cultures, within subcultures, within subcultures, within subcultures, within subcultures. You get what I'm saying? This shit is so divisive over here. Like, this shit crazy. And I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with the check left hook? What does that have to do with a person parrying the jab? What does that have to do with hand-eye coordination? Because guess what? If you can't see that punch coming, like a lot of people say, you gotta know how to slip and counter. Well, you can't slip what you can't see. That's where hand-eye coordination comes from. Even in baseball, when the fighter hits I'm talking about the fighter. When the batter hits the ball, fastball, curveball, whatever the case may be, baseball is all about hand-eye coordination. You got to see it and anticipate where it's going to go at, and you got to make your mind up within a split second to know where to swing that bat and hit that ball. In boxing, it's the same thing. Hand-eye coordination. You got to be able to see it. And if you can't see it, you can't slip it. If you can't slip it, you're going to get hit by it. And if you get hit by it too many goddamn times, more than likely your ass going to get beat. You get what I'm saying? So, he say African Americans don't clown Native Africans. Well, you know what? Not all. I can't sit back and say all African Americans clown Native Africans, because they don't. But there are some that do. And there are some Africans that clown African Americans. They call us Hakatas and all that stuff there. So this stuff is all over the place. But guess what? What does it have to do with boxing? Nothing. True. Has nothing to do with boxing. I always try to bring it back to boxing. This is not the racial Olympics. You know what I mean? Let's say we are all black people, the people oppressed upon. Black, we never called each other black people, Arlette, if you don't know that. Black is a social construct that came about in like the 1800s. To be honest with you. But back to boxing. If y'all want to have the racial Olympics, be my guest. I'm not going to talk about anything dealing with the racial Olympics. I don't give a fuck. I'll let y'all have that shit. You say facts, skills and skills. Yeah, see, this what I look at. I look at the skill set of it. I try to look at the skill set of it. Adari say, Coach Malachi, read my message. I just read it. Lady Shane said, I don't mind being called black. Yeah. I said I wasn't going. talk about that shit no more. Yeah, I don't care. Whatever a person don't mind being called, black, white, Hispanic, I don't give a fuck. What does that have to do with boxing? As it relates to the subject matter at hand, do you guys think that who do you want to see Jared Anderson fight next? Who do you want to see Jared Anderson fight next? Knockdown 305. Oh, okay. You said I've seen men from every culture get their ass whooped. That's facts.
True.
Facts. Oh, Jason Mones, I see you here. Unicat is Jason Mones, guys. Unicat is Jason Mones. This is Jason Mones' other account. Reese Mack, you said you want to see him fight Dubois? Okay. Dubois, okay. You want to see him fight Sanchez? Yeah, I hear a lot of hype about Sanchez. I'm not really that impressed with him myself, but he's a good fighter. Good, cute, good. He's a good fighter. But see, this is what impresses me. When now I'm not gonna lie. I was impressed with Sanchez beat F.A. Jabba. It showed me that F.A. Jabba wasn't, he's still learning on the job. He's big and he's slow. He has power. And Frank Sanchez put on a boxing clinic against F.A. Jabba. He did. He was just faster than him. He was just slicker. He was slipping shots, countering his footwork. And it just really exposed F.A. Jabba like, damn, this dude ain't got no footwork. He's trying to land that right hand. That's about it. Stamina. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, though? He said, Coach, if Bellator, UFC, 1FC, MMA did not exist, will we have a lot more boxing matches? Yeah, I would think so. That's a good question. I would think so. If UFC, if the MMA didn't exist, I would think so. I would think so, man. I would think so. Like over here in America, the boxing scene is I think over here in America, the boxing scene is good, but heavyweight division ain't nothing in the heavyweights. There's nothing in the light heavyweights division. There's nothing in the cruiserweight division. There's nothing in the super middleweight division. In the middleweight division, you get what I'm saying? It's like, the American boxing scene is more so welterweight and lightweight. Welterweight and lightweight. And I'm talking about top American fighters. They're welterweight, lightweight, maybe featherweight, and you got Steph at bantamweight. So bantamweight, featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, not even junior welterweight, not even a 140. Yeah, welterweight and junior middleweight. You got Jamel Charlo right there. Middleweight, I can't count Jamal Charlo. Middleweight, I can't count Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo don't fight nobody. So I can't even count Jamal Charlo at middleweight. He's a champion, but I can't. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Real Talk. He said, yo, he did call out Ergovich. Yeah. He called out Ergovich. That's good. If he called out Ergovich, that's good. I would love to see that. You would like to see Jared fight Zane. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I think that'll be a good fight because Zane can fight. Zane doesn't have any defense, but he can punch. So I would love to see that fight happen. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If Jared Anderson beats Zane, they're going to say Zane is old. He's almost 40 years old. And they're going to say Jared Anderson ain't fought nobody. It's going to always continue to be the moving of the goalposts. And there's a lot of that going on in the sport of boxing right now, Halim. There's a lot of that going on in the sport of boxing. A lot of goalposts moving. They'll say one thing. I told you, these guys argue both sides of the coin. I'm telling you what's going to happen. As soon as it's okay, you say same here, Ergovich is another hype. As soon as you put these guys in there with who you guys say you want to see them fight, when they beat them, then y'all going to say, oh man, the dude weren't really nothing. Like, you can't beat these dudes. knock down 305. You feel me? You can't beat them, dog. You can't beat them. You can't beat them. They argue both sides of the coin. These niggas ain't never satisfied in boxing. I noticed that. They ain't never satisfied. They ain't never satisfied. It's you said I be seeing Charlos riding around. Okay. Al Pal, salute Al Pal. Y'all hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. I want to open up the phone lines. We got over. Hit the like button. I want to open up the phone lines. We don't just give me 150 likes. Give me 150 likes. We don't open up the phone lines. How many likes we got so far? We got 102. We need 48 more likes. In my opinion, what they say, you see a lot of guys duck Ergovich and Zane because they hit hard and tough as hell. No skill so much. Yeah, man, it's like he said Ergovich beat Zane. He's in my top 10. In my opinion, what they say the other night, first time Zane got in shape. Yeah. Like there was no defense in that fight. Everybody just hitting each other in the face. There was no defense in that fight. When you that big, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I was telling you guys about Usyk. See, these guys, yeah, shout out to JT, man. Holla at you, man. Be safe. These guys, these heavyweights are so big that they're slow. They're big and they're slow, right? These heavyweights are big and slow. A lot of these heavyweights. Usyk doesn't fight like your typical heavyweight. Even though he is a heavyweight now, he's 220 something pounds, but his footwork is far more superior than any of these heavyweights. And he moves around like a light heavyweight. Some would say even a middleweight. He moves around like a light heavyweight. He doesn't move like your heavyweights. So his footwork is far more superior than all of these guys. His hand speed, his hand-eye coordination, his backhand is very good. You see what I'm saying? It's like he makes these other guys look slow. Like every heavyweight, like from Joshua to Chisora to what the dude he fought in Chicago when he came to America, beat his ass, came to America. He makes all of these dudes look slow. Because in the heavyweight division, when it comes to that guy, Usyk, if size is your advantage, if you fight somebody like Usyk, that'll be a disadvantage if you're fighting him. Your size would be a disadvantage for him. You get what I'm saying? Kasi say he say Fury got good footwork too. Yeah, Fury does have good footwork, especially to be 6'9" tall. For him to be 6'9", he does have good footwork. He does have good footwork. He does. But his footwork is relative to who he's fighting as well. It's relative to who he's fighting as well. Madar, what did he say? Coach Malachi. He said that's why the WBC Bridgerweight division is a waste of time and unnecessary pure garbage. Yeah, the Bridgerweight, I don't ever see that. I don't ever see the Bridgerweight division taking off. That shit trash. I don't see that at all, fam. I don't see that at all, fam. I don't see that at all. That Bridgerweight division, that right there, bro. How many people you got fighting in the Bridgerweight division? And they probably ain't getting paid no money. They probably ain't getting paid no money in the Bridgerweight division. I'm pretty sure they're not. They're not getting paid no money. They're not getting paid no money. Like if a Bridgerweights fight each other, what does the crowd look like? What does the audience look like when they fight? You get what I'm saying? Like what does the audience look like? Like how do you get what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the like button. Like you feel me? Like what does the audience look like in the Bridgerweight division? Like I can't. I know Oscar Rivas is there, and that's it. I don't know nobody else there. I'm just being honest with you. LF, what you say? LF say he said Anderson needs more fights before Usyk. Nah, he better. Yeah, he can't fuck with Usyk. Usyk ain't gonna be there anyways. I think Usyk gonna fight one more time. I think if he beat Tyson Fury, is he gonna retire? I gotta drink this tea, man. I think if he beat Tyson Fury, he gonna retire. So Usyk ain't gonna be there long enough for Jared Anderson to fight him. You know, I would like to see him in there with Ergovich. I would like to see him in there with they say the boogeyman of the division, King Kong Ortiz. Throw his ass in there with Ortiz. You say Alan Babcock is in Bridgerweight. Yeah, Alan Babcock is trash. Alan Babcock is trash. That dude ain't got no defense and he has no stamina. Alan Babcock is trash. I am so unimpressed with that dude. Not even gonna lie. Alan Babcock is probably one of the trashiest fighters I've seen. If that is a hype train. Alan Babcock. He's a hype train. So this is why it's important, guys, that everybody got to fight each other. The only way you're going to know who is the top guys, all of these guys who's supposed to be the top, and we're assuming that the ranking systems don't mean anything, like Blood say, they fake. So let's throw the rankings out of the way. Whoever the word of mouth top guy is, put him in there, let them fight each other. And then when the smoke settles, whoever has the most victories against each other, then you can say, okay, that's the top guy. Then you can say that. Me personally, and again, it's subjective to the individual, but it's just a whole lot of, you know, this shit everywhere. This shit everywhere today. And I'm like, even I'm confused. He said, Coach Malachi, the only people making money in the Bridgerweight division is the sanctioning bodies. Yeah, hey, Brian, I totally believe that.
True.
I totally believe that. Yep. Brian Clark, you say Babbitt is a fun fight to watch, but against top guys, he'll get killed. Man, Alan, listen, that dude Babbitt is trash. Yeah, he's a fun fight to watch if you want to see Rock'em Sock'em. But other than that, like that dude ain't got no defense. Footwork is terrible. He don't know how to slip. He doesn't know how to slip a jab. His engine is terrible. He can't fight on the back foot. You know, he telegraphs his punches. He loves eating right hands. Bro, like, yeah, you know. I mean, yeah, I guess he's fun. I guess he's fun. I guess he's fun. I guess he's fun. You know what I mean? I don't know how you rank it. You know what I mean? So shout out to lady saying what he said. You said I go by rankings, to be honest, for the most part. Yeah, most people do. Shout out to Jaime. Jaime, what you say, family? Say, Coach, who came up with the Bridgerweight? The WBC, right? Yeah, the WBC came up with the Bridgerweight division. The WBC came up with the Bridgerweight division. They did that. Knockdown 305. You say I'm excited about the new group that's coming. Okay, yeah, me too. I'm excited about the new group as well. Fam. Me too. I am. I'm definitely excited about it. Shout out to the Rock from Brockton. You say top ranked matchmakers love tomato can boxing. It ain't just top rank. It's PBC too. Shit. Hey, it ain't just top rank. Shit, it's top rank PBC. Golden Boy. Shit, pretty much all of them pretty much, for what, not all, but quite a few of them. They like tomato can. They like tomato can matchmaking. Shit, you know what I mean? That's just what's going on. Shout out to Khan Shonery. You say Anderson should fight Ergovich or even Dubois. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. He said, "What do you think about Tiger Johnson?" I gotta see more footage on him, fam. To be honest with you, I gotta see more footage on him. Before I make an opinion, I have to see more footage of him. To be honest with you. What did you say, Adara? You say, Coach, Jared Anderson versus Oscar Rivas would be interesting. Oh yeah, that will be interesting. The thing is, Jared Anderson, he's like 240 pounds, right? He's a big guy. He's like 240, right? I think he's a big kid. That's a big boy. I think he's like 240. He a solid dude. Oscar Rivas will have to move up to heavyweight. Remember, Dari, Oscar Rivas fights at Bridgerweight now. He fights at Bridgerweight now. Alfonso, what you say, fam? You say if Dubois hits anyone except Joe Joyce, they're going down. Well, you know what? The only way we're going to know, he's going to have to get in there with that anyone. He's going to have to get in. Because I'm going to tell you something about that. You will have fighters who look real good against mediocre fighters, right? You will have fighters who look real good against mediocre fighters. And you will have fighters that will knock out a whole lot of people. And everybody will look at that without taking into consideration who you fight matters. They never take into consideration who you fight matters. This is why when you have a fighter who gets a whole lot of hype, and when he does get in the ring with someone else that we think that that's a better fighter. I see my camera look like it's trying to go out. That's a better fighter. Yeah, I don't know what the hell been going on with my camera lately, man. Like, I don't know what's been going on with my camera. This shit's pissed me off. When you see him getting in there with a better fighter, you will see that the guy can't, this dude wasn't as good as I thought he was. You see what I'm saying? And I always go back to what my uncle taught me. He said, who you fight matters. You always hear me stressing that. Who you fight matters. If you fighting Hobo Sam and you looking like a world beater fighting Hobo Sam and you have a resume full of Hobo Sams and Poke Chop Willis, I can't say that, yeah, this guy is he's the best that ever did it and he's the hardest hitting this and that. Okay, how can you say he's the hardest hitting guy ever in the sport of boxing when the criteria for which you're judging him by is the tomato cans he's knocked out? I haven't said any names. I haven't said any names. So I don't want nobody getting their panties in a bunch. Loosen your thong up. For a lot of you guys who gonna come on here and get emotional, a lot of you emotional beta males, loosen your thong up. If your thong is bothering your crack, loosen it up. I didn't say any names. But if your argument is your fighter is a knockout artist, and if you don't take into consideration who he is knocking out, then that is the flaw in your arguments. That is the flaw in your arguments. You get what I'm saying? That is the flaw in your argument. The Rock from Brockton, he said, Coach, what do you think about the other Jared Miller, Battle of the Big Babies? Jared Miller is a certified drug cheat. He got popped twice. Jared Miller, I saw him fight. I saw how he looks. This dude is 300 plus pounds. Jared Miller needs to lose some weight. If he fights any top guy, now that he's not on steroids anymore, he can't cheat no more. If he fight any of the top guys, they're going to beat his ass because he's going to get tired. He's going to get tired. They're going to beat his ass because he's going to get tired. I don't think nothing of Jared Miller. He's not a good fighter. He's not a good fighter. I don't think nothing of him. As a matter of fact, in America, we ain't got no good heavyweights over here, really, to be honest with you. I'm just being hey, all that say, I was saying for you, Coach, Wilder. I ain't saying no names. Because I know these dudes they thongs go to itching. They thongs go to itching and they take everything so personal. And they ain't say no name, but I know who he talking about. I ain't say no name. These niggas thongs go to bothering them, giving them a wedgie and all that stuff there. So I ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I mean? You could tell back in the day, their favorite song was Cisco, the thong song. That thong, 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 thong. These dudes here, they had their thongs, messing with their little team. They thong be messing with their little team while they playing their PS3. Jason Mones is Unicat, guys. Jason Mones is Unicat. Shout out to Brian Clark. He said skills pay the bills. There's 10, 20 heavyweight hit harder than Usyk. But he the champ, enough said. Yeah, but if you know anything about boxing, shit, there's a whole lot of people get hit hard. That don't mean nothing. They call it boxing for a reason. If it was as simple as I hit hard, there's a whole lot of people hit hard. Whole lot of heavyweights hit hard. What the hell that mean? I've seen hard hitting heavyweights get their ass whooped by guys who didn't have no punching power. They get box circles around them. You get what I'm saying? Al Booker, what you say? He said, I can see Coach doesn't play video games. No, I don't play video games. I'm 48 years old, dog. What the hell I look like sitting down playing some video games? No, I'll play some video games every now and then. I'll play some video games every now and then. I ain't gonna lie. You know, if I go to the game room with the kids and stuff like that, and I sit back and play Pac-Man or Donkey Kong or stuff like that, I'll do that. But what I'm saying is I don't spend my day playing video games all day. I'm a grown-ass man. I try to take care of business as best I can. And if I'm trying to take care of business, I'm not going to put hours and hours upon hours a day playing the goddamn video game, especially if I'm not a gamer. Now, if I'm a professional gamer and I get paid for it, that's something different. But I'm just not going to do that. I don't shit. I'm still, and when I do play, I still play the old game. So shit. I'm still stuck on Donkey Kong Jr. and Dig Dug and Centipede and Millipede and Burger Time and Pac-Man and Pac-Man Jr. and Pac-Man Jr. and Miss Pac-Man. I'm still stuck on that. Donkey Kong Jr. and Donkey Kong. I'm still there. Mario Brothers. You know, I'm still on that. I'm still on that. Tetris and all that stuff there. That's where I'm stuck at. Duck Hunt. I'm still stuck there. So I ain't got time to be learning all this new shit. For what? Shit. Con Chandra said, you'd be surprised how many grown men play video games. No, I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. You say, Coach, I don't play video games either. We from the Spades Dominoes era. Yeah. Yeah, we from the Spades Domino games era. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, it is what it is. Con Chandra, what you say? You say the most video games I ever played was with my son. Playing Super Mario Brothers for hours on end. Yeah, you know, you playing with your kids and stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Major Key say Rampage. Yes, sir. Gallagher. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that if you playing with your kids. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna be online, you know, threatening niggas while, you know, you know what I mean? PS5, nigga. I ain't gonna be doing that. Pitfall. Hey, you know, I used to play the hell out of Pitfall. Oh, I used to play Pitfall. Yeah, I used to play Pitfall. Yeah, for sure. But I was a kid, though. I was a kid. You know, children do things that children do. But once you become a grown man, you learn to leave things of a child behind. You know what I mean? So, you know, that you know, I ain't, you know, shout out to all the dudes who, you know, I ain't knocking nobody. You know, that's what you do, shit. But I'm a firm believer, if you're a broke nigga ain't got no business playing no video games. A broke nigga ain't got no business playing no video games. If you broke, playing the video game should be the last thing on your mind. If you struggling and you struggling to pay your rent or pay your mama back her $20 or pay your baby mama back her $40 that you borrowed, if you struggling to replace the milk that you drunk up in the house, if you can't replace the juicy juices that you drunk up all the kids' juicy juices, you don't ate up all the cereal and you don't smoked up all your Nick sacks that you went to half on your homeboy with. You put up $2.50 and your homeboy put up $2.50 on this Nick sack that y'all went in with together. And if you one of those dudes and you playing video games all day, the video game should be the last thing on your mind. I'm gonna just say that. True. Them dudes have the most energy online too. They have the most energy online. They'll be the main ones threatening you and stuff. Half on the Nick sack ass niggas. I can't take a nigga who go half on a Nick sack serious for anything. Shout out to Bishop Don Magic Warren. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What did you say? If it was about punching power, Coach, he said that Ernie Shavers would have gone down as one of the greatest heavyweights in history. Sign the contract. Hey, that's fine. You hit the nail right on the head.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying, though? You get what I'm saying? Or let's say Pitfall. She said Pitfall was good. He said Pitfall was good, Coach, by Activision. Yeah. You get what I'm saying, though? That's all I'm saying. So Allen Maddox, shout out to Allen Maddox. Hey, okay. For dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Allen Maddox say Canelo still plays Duck Hunt.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hey, that's all I be saying, fam. That's all I be saying. And let me tell you something too, man. Like in the heavyweight division today, in the heavyweight division today, right? Let's say the American heavyweight division. Let's talk about America. In the American heavyweight division, boy, it looking bad over here, dog. Like, bro, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, dog. You know it's bad when and I'm gonna try to be nice. What do we have in America? The American, as a matter of fact, let's do this. The American heavyweight division. This shit ain't looking good over here today, boy. Boy, this shit looking, Lord have mercy. I'm really embarrassed. I'm scared to talk about it. So really scared to talk about it. We got Frank Sanchez, but Frank Sanchez is Cuban, so you can't claim him. F.A. Jabba is from the continent of Africa. You can't, Nigeria, you can't claim him. Well, what we got? We had Trevor Bryan. True. We got Deontay Wilder. We have Trevor Bryan. Trevor Bryan had the Reggie belt. Trevor Bryan had the Reggie belt. We have man, let me let me pull this shit up. I ain't gonna lie, dog. Like it just ain't. I gotta be honest, dog. It ain't popping. It ain't popping over here, dog. It ain't popping over here. It ain't popping over here. I remember like a lot of dudes, especially the Wakandas, they talked all of this, how the American heavyweights or the American fighters are so much greater, better than, and of course everybody else is Eurobombs. The Eurobombs. Guess what? The Eurobombs, and I'm being facetious when I say this. I'm not calling these guys Eurobombs, and I don't go by that. But guess who the top guys in the heavyweight division right now? The guys who these people say are Eurobombs. True. Guess who? They say these dudes, anything from America, anything that's not from America, especially if he's white. Oh man, he ain't nothing but Eurobombs. He ain't fighting nothing but Eurobombs. Guess who dominated the heavyweight division? The Eurobombs. You see what it is? You see how this shit come around? You see how this come around, dog? You see how this come around? See, they talked all that Eurobombs, so guess what? The Eurobombs is kicking motherfuckers' ass. Zamunda it's not able to produce anything for the Euros. This is our last hope.
We the Charlo twins. We known for calling everybody out.
Please call these people out. Listen, the whole world's looking at you. Call these people out,
What's
please.
up? It's the Jamal the Hitman Charlo. Let's get it. Who want it?
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Mexican monster.
Bello.
Jeff Lucietta, he say Fury versus Usyk battle of the Eurobomb cash cows 1 and 2. Ain't that some shit? True. Yeah, man. Yeah. See what I'm saying? So, you feel me? See how this shit is over here? Shaking like booty meat over here, boy. It's shaking like booty meat over here, boy. Boy, it's shaking like booty meat, bad, boy, bad. Listen, when you go to the cruiserweight division, same thing. When you go down to the light heavyweight division, same thing. Euros. When you go down to the super middleweight division, well, we got our North American superstars. We got Saul Canelo Alvarez, and then when you go down to the middleweight division, Triple G got 3 belts over there, and we got Jamal Charlo. We got the Hitman, right? And then we go down to the that's the middleweight division. Then we go down to the junior middleweight division. We got our main man, Jamel Charlo. Jamel holding the line. Jamel is holding the line.
Come fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm in knockout orders, baby.
Now Jamel is the real one. Jamel is the real one. You know what I mean? We know we gotta go down. We gotta shit at 140. We ain't got nothing at 140. We ain't got nothing at 140. But you know, got a Gary Antoine Russell. But for 147, we got 147, and you know, it is what it is. But you feel me though. You feel me though. It shaking like booty meat over here, boy. He say, Coach. He said, we know who's the best. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, dog. This right here is, and I'm saying, but I'm talking about in the heavyweight division. In the heavyweight division, dog, bro, it's looking bad over here, bro. Boy, it's looking bad over here, boy. We ain't, boy, god damn, bro. We hurting, dog. We hurting. Bro, we hurting over here. We hurting over here, dog. We hurting over here, bro. We hurting over here. We hurting over here. We hurting over here. I'm telling you, in the heavyweight division. In the heavyweight division, dog, we hurting over here, dog. Matter of fact, let's pull some of this up. It makes me, hold on, let me see something. Let's see, let's go to boxing. Let's go to ring. Go to the ratings, right? You know, Blood say the rankings don't mean nothing, so all of them don't mean nothing. So I don't know how you judge it, how you go about doing it then. How you go about doing it. You get what I'm saying? Let me see something. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let me go on over here. Let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this. Over here, as a matter of fact, hold on, guys. Let me share my screen. I gotta share my screen. Let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. Hold on, guys. I got it right here. Let me share my screen right quick. All right, so according to Ring Magazine, these are the top 10 heavyweights. This is Ring Magazine. I don't know why Tyson Fury is not here. I don't know why Tyson Fury is not here. That doesn't make any sense to me. But they got Usyk, is the champ. They got Joshua number 1. This is Ring. They have Deontay Wilder number 2. They have Joseph Parker ranked number 3 according to Ring magazines. I think Ring is owned by Oscar De La Hoya. They have Dillian Wright ranked number 4. They have Andy Ruiz ranked number 5. They have King Kong Ortiz, the boogeyman of the division. Of course, I'm being facetious. Ranked number 6. They got the juggernaut Joe Joyce ranked number 7. They have Philip Ergovich ranked number 8. They have Frank Sanchez ranked number 9. Now, they say that this guy, Frank Sanchez, is 27, 28 years old. Now, you can look at his face and tell this man ain't nowhere near 27, 28 years old. He's more like 37 or 38 years old. No one can tell me that. That's the oldest 27 or 28-year-old I've ever seen in my life in boxing. And they got Zhang right there. Let's look at some more rankings. The rankings don't mean anything. You know, we're going to throw that out there. Blood say the rankings is fake. So we're going to assume all this is fake. So the question I have is this. Let's say these rankings are fake. How do you determine who the top guys is then? How do you determine who the top guys is then? You get what I'm saying? He ranked number 4. Well, these is fake. We can't count that. So who do you consider the top guys in this? Do you consider Joshua a top guy? One of the top heavyweights. Do you consider Deontay Wilder one of the top heavyweights? Do you consider Joseph Parker one of the top heavyweights? Boxing Logic United say quality of wins. Okay, how do you determine the quality of wins? That's another argument. That's another argument. How do you determine the quality of wins when you have people say, well, this guy Joshua, he really ain't that good. He ain't nobody. So I don't know why he ranked there. They'll say, well, Deontay Wilder, he really ain't that good. He a one-trick pony. Okay. Dillian White, he keep getting knocked out with uppercuts. He ain't really nobody. So do you see where I'm going at with this? Do you see where I'm going at with this? Who's to say that if you beat Ortiz, that's a quality win? Who's to say if you beat Andy Ruiz, that's a quality win? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying this stuff. I'm not saying this stuff at all. But how do you determine that? I give you the answer how you would determine that. How you would determine that is this. Everybody in the top 10 got to fight each other. Or let's throw the rankings out the way. So if we throw the rankings out the way, let's just say ain't no goddamn rankings. Let's just say this is one guy, he the champ, he got 3 belts, Tyson Fury got 1 belt, and what we gonna do is we just gonna pick guys and I guess look at the eye test and see how they perform in the ring, how they able to slip a jab, or how they able to set traps, can they fight on the front foot, can they fight on the back foot, and how good is their defense? You get what I'm saying? Like you see where I'm going at with this. Do you see where I'm going at with this? I see this shit all the time. Or I see this shit all the time on YouTube. I see this all the time. Because you'll have a group of people say, we can't go by these rankings. Okay, so the rankings don't matter. Let's go by another rankings. See, we can't determine who's good. Only thing we can do is go by the belts. He got 3 belts, and the other guy got 1 belt. So we can't determine. So how do we determine who's you get what I'm saying? Let's go over here. Let's look at some more rankings. Okay, that's the ring. That's the ring. Let's go over here. Let's look at boxing scene. Let's look at boxing scene rankings. Let's look at the boxing scene rankings. And then we can look at the sanctioning body rankings. The rankings don't mean nothing. They fake. All of them fake. And I can see what Blood is talking about. If all of the rankings is fake, then my thing is, okay, but all of them fake. They've always been fake. Even when Ali was boxing. Even before Ali. They've always been fake. Because you can move people up and down the rankings anytime. See, Don King is a perfect example. Don King is a perfect example of that. Don King is a perfect example of that. So Blood definitely may have a point on that, but it's for me, okay, if everything is fake, cool. I got that. Now, let's look at how do you determine who the top guy is? Now, these are rankings from different sanctioning bodies. Check this out, guys. The WBC has Tyson Fury, the champ. They don't even have Oleksandr Usyk nowhere in their top 10. So the WBC doesn't even have Oleksandr Usyk ranked. Probably because he's a champion, but yet and still. They got Tyson Fury, of course, that's their champion. Then they got Deontay Wilder ranked number 1. They have Joe Joyce ranked number 2. Joseph Parker ranked number 3. Frank Sanchez from Cuba ranked number 4. Andy Ruiz, I guess he's from California. I don't know if he claimed America or not. Ranked number 5. You got this dude here. I don't even. We just gonna say. I don't even know how to pronounce this dude's name. AK or whatever. But he ain't American. He ranked number 6. Dillian White ranked number 7. Louis, the boogeyman of the division, ranked number 8. Robert Helene is ranked number 9. Big Odo Wallin ranked number 10. I don't know how they came up with these rankings. I don't know how they came up with these rankings. Then over here, you go to the WBA. They got Usyk as the champ. We know that. Then they got Dubois as the champ. I don't think highly of Dubois myself, but hey, it is what it is. He got the Reggie belt. He beat Trevor Bryan. Then they got Michael Hunter. They got Robert Helenius, Huggy Fury, Anthony Joshua ranked number 4, Martin Bocole ranked number 5. This other dude whose name I can't pronounce ranked number 6. Trevor Bryan ranked number 7. They got Zan ranked number 8. Linier ranked number 9. Lucas Brown ranked number 10. Like Andy Ruiz ranked number 12. All right, so I don't know how they put their rankings together. You get what I'm saying? You see where I'm going at with this? Y'all see where I'm going at with this? Over here with the IBF, Oleksandr Usyk has that belt. They don't have nobody ranked number 1. Then they got a King Kong Ortiz, he ranked number 2. Then they got Ergovich. Then they got Joshua ranked number 4. Joe Joyce ranked number 5. Joseph Parker ranked number 6. Martin Bocole ranked number 7. They got this dude named Ajit. I don't even know who the hell this is. Ajit Kobayel. Oh, I know who that is. They got him ranked number 8. Frank Sanchez ranked number 9. Tony Yoka ranked number 10. Didn't write Odo Wallin. You see what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? I can easily say ain't none of these dudes good. So that means if anybody fight any of these guys that's ranked in the top 10, he ain't beat nobody. Cause that dude, do you get what I'm saying? Like, bro, shout out to my brother Blood. Hey, Blood, I'm going over what you were talking about, fam, about these ranking systems being fake and not being no good. So what we trying to come to is, how do you decide whether a fighter fought tough competition or whether he's a top guy or not? And the only thing I keep coming back to is he just got to keep fighting fighters. He got to keep fighting the fighters. And it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say now that, okay, well, if he fight the top guys, who is considered a top guy? How do you determine who a top guy is? Yeah, Usyk got the belts, but someone may say he beat Joshua. That really wasn't no top guy. Okay, well, some can say, well, Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder. Well, Deontay Wilder ain't no top guy. His resume, he ain't fought nobody. That's what they'll say. So how do you determine who the top guy is? How do you determine who the top guy? We can't use ranking systems. And ranking systems, if we go by your logic, ranking system has always been fake, even when Ali was fighting. Who's to say Ernest Shavers was a top guy? Who's to say Ron Lyle was a top guy? We can't go by the ranking systems. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Boxing License United. Hey, okay. For dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy!
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said Jake Paul is the perfect example. Oh yeah, you saying about what Mauricio Suleiman was saying he was gonna make him rank. Yeah, Blood is right about that. If they would have ranked Jake Paul, that would have been something else. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to figure out how can we can't judge whether a fighter is good or not based on the ranking system. So the only way you can do it, everybody got to fight everybody.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Retro say, how many of these ranked guys are Cambosos and how many are Ocampos? You know what? That's a good question. That's a good question. So the argument will be, well, shit, ain't nobody good. Usyk ain't a good fighter. He ain't good. Tyson Fury ain't a good fighter. He ain't good. They got the belts, but they ain't beating nobody. So you get what I'm saying? Like, bruh, if we go down this rabbit hole, I can go all the way back to when Ali was fighting. I can go all the way back to Archie Moore was fighting. I can go all the way back, all the way up until today. Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, Larry Holmes. I can go all the way back. Who's to say that those guys was as good as we thought they were? If we go by that logic, you get what I'm saying? So, shout out to Brian Clark for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy!
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What to say, fam? You say sanctioned bodies are corrupt. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
True.
Yes, sir.
True.
You hit the nail right on the head. And major pimps pay to play and get ranked. Dollar bill, y'all. Yeah, Don King is a perfect example of that. Don King and Bob Barry.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
What they say, knock down 305. You say, yeah, coach, we can do this all day. Yeah, we can do this all day, dog. We can do this all day. See, what I'm gonna do, we can do this all day. We can. Shout out to Retro. You say there does need to be a ranking in place but the rankings are so flawed that I'm not giving any fighters much credit for who they fought in the rankings. Yeah. So if you're not, so I get that. So if that's your criteria, then we can't say Deontay Wilder is good because that don't mean shit. You get what I'm saying? We can't say Anthony Joshua was good. We can't say Oleksandr Usyk is good. We can't say none of these guys. Crawford. We can't say Errol Spence is good. We can't say any of these guys is good just based on the rankings. We can't say Shakur Stevenson is good based on the rankings. We can't say Devin Haney. We can't say Canelo Alvarez. Like if we just go by rankings, we can't give any of those guys credit for none of that. You get what I'm saying? Because that's where the rabbit hole is going to go. That's where the rabbit hole is going to go. The rabbit hole is going to go there. And then what we got to do now we got to go back and look at the past. We got to look at, okay, well, shit, when Tyson was fighting, when Lennox Lewis was fighting, shit, what about when Ali and Shavers and Ron Lyle and Aaron Pryor and Sugar Ray and Hagler was fighting? We got to go back and look at that too. You see what I'm saying? When you get what I'm saying? Shout out to Adara. He said, Coach Malachi, we never know how good, like Ike Buche would have been. Yeah, we never know. Or if he was really that good at all. You see what I'm saying? You know. And here it go right here. Con Shiner, what you say? You say unless they each clean out a division, there would never be a way to know. You hit the nail right on the head. The way you know is all the guys who are supposed to be the top guys, which is subjective to the individual. And I'm gonna tell you something else too. Who the top guys is subjective to the individual. I see that a lot going around today because I see so much fighters being discredited today. I see champions being discredited today in boxing by saying that they was either ranked too high. If he loses to another fighter, he really wasn't that good. And if he does become undisputed or win the belts, well, he ain't fought nobody but one guy, so he really not that good. Like, bro, this can go, bro. Like we can go on around and around and around. This can just continue to go on, dog. This continue to go on, dog. And what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to pick and choose who to say that the rules, the sanctioning bodies, the rankings don't apply to. I'm going to say, you know what? It's going to apply to everybody. If you're going to say that for this fighter, you got to say it for all the fighters.
True.
You got to say it for Muhammad Ali. You got to say it for Marvin Hagler. You got to say it for Wilfredo Benitez. You got to say it for Carlos Monzon. You got to say it for Lennox Lewis. You got to say it for Mike Tyson. Like you have to say it for all of them. Because the same things that's going on today with the ranking systems, they was going on when Ali was boxing. They was going on when Ray Robinson was boxing. They was going on when Hurricane Carter was boxing. They've always been going on. Nothing has changed. He said Mike Tyson beat Giant Rebalta. Or beat Giant Jose Rebalta. Heavyweights not fair. I think they beat Giants. Yeah. You get what I'm saying though? He say if you're looking for how deep corruption has affected the game, it's a bottomless pit. The corruption has always been there. What I'm saying is there's nothing new. There's nothing new about any of this. You get what I'm saying? So Lennox, and the reason why I give Lennox Lewis so much credit, he fought everybody. Lennox Lewis fought everybody. He didn't fight Ike Buche, or it's a couple of guys he didn't fight, but for the most part, he fought everybody and he beat them all. He cleaned out this division. He beat everybody since we can't use the ranking system, since the ranking system is fake. So I can't say he beat everybody in the top 10. Like who to say the top 10? We can just say he beat everybody they put in front of him. If you want to hold that. He said you forgot to say you forgot to say it for Rocky Marciano.
What about Rocky Marciano? Oh, there they go. Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got to pull Rocky Marciano out their ass. That's the one. Rocky Marciano. Let me tell you something once and for all. Rocky Marciano was good, but compared to Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano ain't shit.
He
Beat Joe Lewis's ass.
He said, don't forget Roy Jones. Yeah, Roy Jones too. Roy Jones too. Sugar Ray Leonard too. Hearns too. Roberto Duran too. You got to throw them in there as well. I mean, if we're gonna go down this rabbit hole, we got to throw them all in there. Got to throw them all in there. That's all I'm saying. Cause that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, you know what, man, shit. You know, it got me questioning everything now. You say it's all for the love of money. Got to get that money. Got to get that. Got to get that money, man. Yeah, for the love of money. Yeah. Jay, you say ever since Jack Johnson coach, Jack Johnson might be different because back then they fought like 45 rounds. They fought like 45, 50 rounds. You get what I'm saying? So Jack Johnson might be different. But yeah, even Jack Johnson, you might, if you want to go back there, you want to go back there. Shout out to In My Opinion. Hey, okay. Dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Yeah, man. Shit, Riddick Bowe threw his belt in the garbage can to avoid fighting Lennox Lewis. So if I was to give one guy credit in the heavyweight division, and guess what? Lennox Lewis was an American. Lennox Lewis beat all of the American heavyweights' ass.
True.
It's true. The Eurobomb beat all the heavyweights' ass over here. The Eurobomb did that. According to you guys' logic, the Eurobomb. I don't agree with Eurobomb. So I don't want nobody thinking I'm calling fighters from Eurobombs. I'm not. I'm being very facetious. If you know me, anything about me, I'm very, very sarcastic. So the Eurobomb whooped all American dudes' ass.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to In My Opinion. Hey, okay. Dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said networks and money guys have to force promoters to work together to get real top 10. Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Dara say, Coach, read my message. You need to repost the message. It's people, the chat is moving up and down. Repost the message. I'm not going to scroll back up and try to find your message. There's a lot of chats in there. What you say, fam? He said Canelo haters invented the term Eurobomb. In my opinion, he say this side of the street shit. Yeah. Yeah, you know how that shit is. You say I'm not as cynical. I still believe the cream always rises to the top, and they can only beat the guys who are in front of them. Yeah, listen, I'm with you on that. I'm not as cynical as well. But what I'm saying is this argument can go everywhere. And it's never going to stop. You get what I'm saying, Con Shout out to Retro. Shout out to what you say, fam? You say let's take the rankings of May 1978. Valdez fought Cordero and Thona. Colbert fought Hagler and Edgar Wallace. He said Minter had fought Thona and Harris. Briscoe fought into Fedimo. Wallace fought Love. So what you're saying is you're saying the tournament. You're saying the tournament, the only way that you're really going to truly know, and I totally agree with that, all of the guys who are supposed to be the top guys. Like, how do you determine whether the top guy or not? But all of the guys who are supposed to be the top guys have to fight each other. What I've been seeing, Retro, is this. Let's say this. Let's say we do a tournament. I'm finna tell you what's going to happen. Let's say a tournament of the top guys. How do you determine whether a guy's a top guy or not? I have no idea. I mean, I do know how I would do it, but in today's time, everybody has a different criteria. So I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole because that's going to be another rabbit hole. So however you determine who the top guys is, I'm finna tell you what's going to happen. And I know what I'm talking about. As soon as these guys fight each other, people are going to say, yeah, well, he beat this guy. Yeah, but that dude really ain't have nothing. Well, wait a minute. Everybody, it was the overall consensus that this guy's one of the top guys. And as soon as one of the top guys that there was an overall consensus as this is the coin right here, two sides of the coin. As soon as it's blurry, y'all can't see it. It's not zooming in on it. I need to lock in on. As soon as he beat the guy, a counter argument is going to be like, well, who put him in? Who said he was a top 10 guy? I don't agree with that. You get what I'm saying? Oh, that guy really ain't, bro. That guy really ain't all that. He's not going to get credit for that. You know how I know? I see it happening right now. I see it happening right now. I see it happening right now. Who get to decide how do you decide who's in the tournament? We can't go by a ranking system. So how do you decide who's in the tournament? Like, how did they do it? How did they do it back then, blood? How did they decide back then when they had tournaments, who was in the tournament? How did they decide that back then? What to say, Constantly said the PBC system of keeping champions away from tough competition is pretty transparent problem. Knockdown 305, you say last man standing. Yeah, I feel you on that. So basically, listen, I'm finna tell you where I'm going at with this. This is my argument. I'm finna tell you where I'm going at with this knockdown 305. Hold on, let me show you where I'm going at. Hold on. Box rec. I'm finna show you where I'm going at with this. This is very easy. Let's go heavyweight. We putting up box rec. I'm gonna pull up box rec. It should be a tournament, right? I think everybody can agree with that, right? What did he say in the late 70s? Promoters like Aram and King had tournaments with networks. Yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that garbage head tournament. Don King put in there, put together with the heavyweights. They had dudes who ain't fought in years, dudes that was unranked, dudes who had losses. They changed. A couple of guys they say didn't have a loss. I remember that. He said in the late 70s they put together a tournament with the networks. They decided, the promoters sold the idea to the networks. Yeah, so I'm finna show you where I'm going at with this. He say maybe George Foreman can come out of retirement. I'm fixing to show you where I'm going at with this. He say top 10 in each division. How do you determine who's in the top 10? What's the criteria to decide who's a top 10 fighter? And if you tell me what your criteria is, I can discredit that right away. Easy. I'm finna make a counter argument to that. Luke Cage, what did he say? He said that's when boxing was real good. Check this out. Let me show y'all something. This is box rec. This is box rec ratings. I don't know how they rate these fighters, but I'm finna tell you what. They have Usyk as the supreme champion because he had 3 belts. They got Joshua ranked number 2. Now, some people would say Anthony Joshua is trash. He's not a top 10 fighter. Some people would say that. Okay. They got Deontay Wilder ranked number 3. Well, guess what? If you make that argument to say that Anthony Joshua is trash, he don't deserve to be in the top 10, you got to make that same argument for Deontay Wilder. You get what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not finished. They just need to give us something better. When not one guy has fought, that's a problem. Shout out to Knockdown 305. He say, Coach, I already argued myself. Shout out to Arlette. What he say, Coach, I admit to having a like for AJ, but a lot of these men won't admit they have bias too. On who their fighters fight and beat. Yeah, you can't. Listen, right now, what I'm doing, Arlette, right now, I'm blowing all of that up right now. If you picking up what I'm putting down, Arlette, I'm fixing to show you something. If you picking up what I'm putting down. This is too easy. This is too easy. I'm not gonna lie, it's too easy. All right, so they got Dillian White. How did they come about putting him at the top 10? Well, they got Joseph Parker. So you can say, well, Dillian White beat Joseph Parker. Okay, well, how the hell Joseph Parker would get in the top 10? What was the criteria? Somebody could come along and say, well, I don't think Joseph Parker's the top 10 fighter. The rankings are fake. You get what I'm saying? Derek Chisora got 12 losses. How he in the top 10? Kubrat Pulev. Like, how do you determine who goes in the top 10? If you have a tournament, how do you determine who's in the tournament? Asking the question. As a matter of fact, is the phone line, we got the lights up? Oh, we got the lights. Let me open up the phone lines. Let me drop the number. Let me open up the phone lines. Telling you, boy, I'm telling you. I'm looking at everybody in the chat right now. You guys, you picking up what I'm putting down? Who's to say? Who's to say? Oh, that's Juggernaut. He said who you fought when you fought them and if they had a real belt. So who you fought when you fought them and if they had a real belt. Let's say you fight a guy and they don't have a real belt. They don't have a belt at all. Retro say, and that's why I don't listen to new fans say AJ beat more ranked opponents than Wilder. They say, when we have a rating system that looks like a 70s or 80s rating would be better. But who's to say that the 70s and 80s ratings were better? How do you come to that conclusion that the 70s and 80s ratings were better? How do you come to that conclusion when the 70s and 80s ratings could have been just as bad as the ratings today? The politics of the 70s and 80s were the same as it is now. Don King proved that. Shit, Don King was getting fighters put in and out of the ranking systems all the time. Retro he say because more of them fought. Well, that's the only criteria. All of them have to fight each other. Like I can make a strong argument for why Marvin Hagler should be rated as the #1 guy. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he fought everybody. He fought dudes in the top 100. He fought dudes in the top 50. He fought dudes in the top 25. He fought dudes in the top 15, the top 10. So he fought all of those guys. That's the only way. That's the only way. But this is the thing. If I go by that argument, I have to apply it to everybody. I got to apply it to Sugar Ray Leonard. Who he fought? Who he beat? He ain't fight Aaron Pryor. You get what I'm saying? So, and in today's time, you can't give none of these fighters no credit then. You can't say, well, Usyk beat more top 10 guys because I'm going to use your criteria. Usyk ain't fought nobody because the rankings are fake. Then we can't give Deontay Wilder credit. Wilder ain't did nothing. He ain't beat nobody. You got to go for that now, right? You got to say the same thing for Terrence Crawford. You got to say the same thing for Errol Spence. You got to say the same thing for Oleksandr Usyk. You got to say the same thing for Beterbiev. You got to say the same thing for Jamel Charlo. He actually beat champions to get belts. Yeah, but you got to say the same thing. You got to say the same thing for all of them. Shout out to Brian. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy!
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said the WBC said if I beat my mailman and garbage man back to back, I will be ranked #1 at the lightweight. He said the light heavyweight for an undisclosed amount of money. Okay, all right.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
You get what I'm saying though? Did you get what I'm saying? Adar, what you say? You say Derek Chisora and Jared Anderson will be interesting. Yeah. So How do you determine who's in the top 10? So basically what you're telling me is you can't even make a ranking. You can't make a ranking or make a top 10 if none of the fighters fought everybody. Because I can easily say this. I can easily say this. Deontay Wilder does not deserve to be ranked number 3. You want to know why? Because he ain't fought Oleksandr Usyk. He haven't fought Anthony Joshua. He haven't fought Joseph Parker. He haven't fought Derek Chisora. He haven't fought Kubrat Pulev. He haven't fought Joe Joyce. He haven't fought Michael Hunter. He fought King Kong Ortiz. He haven't fought Frank Sanchez. He haven't fought Otto Wallin. Yada, 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 yada. Guess what, though? I can easily say the same thing for Ergovich. I can say, well, Ergovich don't deserve to be in the top 15 because he ain't fought Frank Sanchez. He ain't fought Otto Wallin. He ain't fought Luis Ortiz. He ain't fought JoJo. So you get what I'm saying? I can literally look at every fighter on here and say nobody deserves to be ranked nowhere because they haven't fought. All of them haven't fought each other. You got to have 60-something fights like Marvin Hagler or Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson had over 100 fights. So you can make an argument and say, well, Sugar Ray Robinson fought everybody that put on a pair of gloves in this division in multiple weight divisions. You get what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm going at with this here? Shout out to Al Money. Hey, okay. For dropping that $2. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to you, fam. Shout out to you, my brother. Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
He said, I agree, coach. He's a one-handed fighter. Shout out to Frank Ford. Hey, okay. Dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
This is a guaranteed way for me to see your comment if you leave a super chat. There's a lot of people in the chat that's leaving messages, so I'm not going to get everybody's message. Shout out to Frank. What you say, fam? You say, ever lose anything boxing? You say, ever lose anything boxing is just a sport like every other. People lose and win is a part of every sport. In life in general, can only be one champion in boxing. Is the problem they have. Yeah, man, it's
down from the bar. There's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Brian, what you say? You say never ending cycle. It's a never ending cycle, fam. It's a never ending cycle. Never ending cycle. Never ending cycle. How did he get to rank number 10? You get what I'm saying? So the argument is, okay, well, none of these guys fought each other. So basically, if we use my brother Blood Boxing argument, then nobody should be ranked. Nobody should be ranked. There should be no ranking systems nowhere in boxing. Nobody should be ranked. There should be no rankings, and until everybody fight each other, and we got to determine. So you know what that means? That means in order for somebody like a Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua to be on any kind of ranking system, Joshua will have to fight Wilder, Dillian White, which you already fought, Joseph Parker, which you already fought, Derek Chisora, Kubrat Pulev, which you already fought. He had to fight Joe Joyce, Michael Hunter, Luis Ortiz, Martin Bacoli, Frank Sanchez, Otto Wallin, Philip Ergovic, Tony Yoka, Ali, Robert Helenius, Daniel Dubois, Murat Gassif, Adam Kalnaki, Zane, he fought Charles Martin, Huggy Fury, Zayn, he got to fight Adjit, he got to fight Kevin Lorena, he got to fight George Arias, he got to fight F.A. Jabbar, he got to fight Trevor Bryan, he got to fight all these dudes. He got to fight about 50, 60 fighters, and then we got to sit back and look at it. Well, he fought 60 guys, and he fought all of the guys, all these 60 guys, so now we can put him in a ranking system. Do you follow me? Do you follow me? That's where it's at. That's where it's at. All of these fighters. Because I can come along and say, you know what? I feel like Jonathan Gildry should be in the top 10. He fought a top 10 guy. I feel like, you know what? This guy should be in the top 10. I feel like Johnny Rice should be in the top 10 or the top 20. Gerald Miller, I feel like he should be in the top 10. Mr. PED himself. Trevor Bryant, I feel like he should be in the top 20. Do you get what I'm saying? Never ending cycle. Never ending cycle. Never ending cycle. He said great fighters can change gears on the fly and don't need instructions from their coach to do so. Okay. Eddie Val, what you say? He said, however, I'm saying out of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Tyson had the easiest competition. With that being said, Tyson Fury, ranked number 14, would have been equal to Wilder's championship competition. Okay. Okay. Shout out to the Martin. What you say, family? He said that's crazy when the WBC number 1 contender is 0-2 in his last two, and fought only one guy in the top 10. Yeah. There's no way he should be ranked number 1. Go back to what Blood say. The rankings is fake, so the rankings is fake. Nobody should be ranked. None of those fighters are good. None of them should be ranked. You can't use who you fought in the top 10 as an argument. So what's the argument? Arlette, what you say? You say coach is wasting his breath. Yes, I am.
True.
Yes, I am, Arlette. I'm wasting my breath. You're right about that. You're right about that. I am. This is a never-ending cycle. You get what I'm saying? You say you're making sense, but it's all about sense. Always come back to the same stuff. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. Like, let's go here. I want to show you guys something. Like like in the 80s, right? In the 80s. You had heavyweights. And I was in the Me and Blood, I was just in the Blood show today. They talked about Greg Page. I remember Greg Page. 80s, right? Greg Page was looked upon one of the top heavyweights in the 80s. Trevor Berbick was looked upon as one of the top heavyweights in the 80s. I don't know how did you come to that conclusion that he's a top heavyweight. I don't know. Did he fight in the tournament? I don't know. But let's continue. And Evander Holyfield. Holyfield was looked upon more as a great heavyweight in the 90s, more so the 80s. Because most of his time in the 80s was cruiserweight. But he did go to the heavyweight division in it. I think it was like 89, something like that. Somewhere up in there. Michael Spinks was looked upon as one of those heavyweights in the 80s. You can say he wasn't that good. You can say that if you want to do. Someone can make that argument. I wouldn't agree with that, but someone can make that argument. Someone will make that argument. People will always argue both sides of the coin, which is what I'm doing now. What's another guy we had? Jerry Cooney. We had Jerry, what's the dude name? Coetzee. There was a heavyweight named Coetzee. Yeah. What's the other guys we had in the 80s? Tibbs, Tony Tucker. We had Pinklin Thomas. Tim Witherspoon, known for his overhand right. Mike Weaver. You get what I'm saying? Of course, Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes fought everybody. So you can make an argument and say, okay, because he fought everybody, we can make a ranking for him. Right? This is a rabbit hole Dokes, yeah, Dokes. Buster Douglas was trash. Razor Ruddock. In the 90s, we had 80s, we had Mike Tyson. I looked at a lot of Mike Tyson fights. Quite a few of those guys took dives. And you guys know I was a diehard fan of Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson had he was in his prime for like 3 years. 85 to 88. When he was with Kevin Rooney, that's when he was in his prime. Once he dropped Kevin Rooney and got with Don King, Mike Tyson was not a good heavyweight anymore.
True.
Yeah, Bone Crusher Smith, Pinklin Thomas, yep. Coetzee, yep. Doak, Smith, Tate, Weaver, yeah, Tim Witherspoon, Trevor Burbitt, Pinklin Thomas. Yeah, good looking out, guys, helping me out with this. Tucker, Biggs, Razor Ruddock, Alex Stewart. Yeah, I remember Alex Stewart and Evander Holyfield. Michael Bennett, Frank Bruno. Can't forget about Muhammad. Can't forget about what the brother named Muhammad. I forgot the brother. Shit. Yeah, Burt Cooper, Ray Mercer. That was more 90s. Ray Mercer. Herbie Hyde. Yeah. Had a lot of those dudes. Terror Squad say Fury needed a black American trainer to deal with Wilder. Yeah, for the most part, I guess. Yeah, for the most part, if you want to look at it that way. Tyrell Biggs, Call the Truth. Yeah, Call the Truth. Buster Mathis Jr. You say that bum Lewis ducked Mike Tyson. How? He knocked Mike Tyson out. Highway ducked him at. Knocked him out. He knocked Mike Tyson out, put him to sleep. Yeah, Dwight Muhammad. Yeah, Dwight Muhammad Kwaii. Yeah. I've got all about him. Yep. Burt Cooper was a heavyweight version of Arturo Gatti. Yep. Today in boxing, check this out, guys. I want to show you something. Today in boxing, check this out. Let me show you how trash the American heavyweight is. The American heavyweight boxing is today. When I ask anybody on YouTube that's a fan of boxing or a fanboy or whatever, name me. You said you guys just ran off the top heavyweights of the 80s. Give me 10 top heavyweights, American heavyweights right now. He said Mike Tyson is hella overrated by people that don't know boxing. I don't know if this is the real boxing ego. This is probably a troll. Don't block him though. He said Wilder's still the real champ. Fury cheated. I doubt if this is the real boxing ego. I don't think this is boxing ego. That's probably Jason Mones. That might be Jason Mones. More than likely. Phone lines is open, guys, at the bottom. 530-494-9636. Anybody want to call in, y'all can call in. But you get what I'm saying, though, guys. You see where this rabbit hole goes? Give me 10 heavyweights in American heavyweights today. The guys who you call Euro bombs are kicking the Americans' ass. You get what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, I love Mike Tyson. And you guys know I was a fanboy of Mike Tyson. You guys know this. But I got to be honest. When he stepped up to four top guys, he got his ass whipped. Mike Tyson quit on the stool before. Lennox Lewis beat his ass. Holyfield beat his ass twice. Holyfield was beating him so bad, he bit him on the ear. And he quit on the stool at the end of his career. When he got rid of Kevin Rooney, he stopped moving his head. He was getting hit with uppercuts. He became a very lazy fighter when he got rid of Kevin Rooney. And when I went back to look at a lot of those fights that Tyson had in the 80s, not all, but a lot of some of those dudes was taking dives. They were scared before they even stepped in the ring. This is true. So I'm questioning how good Mike Tyson really was now. I got a right to question that. And the European guy, the brother from the UK, Lennox Lewis, he beat everybody ass in America. He beat all those guys. You name him, he beat them. And I love Mike Tyson, but it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. I love the dude, but it's the truth. So who's to say that a lot of those guys in the 80s were that good? You get what I'm saying? If we're going to say, shout out to Lou Peterson, if we're going to say, okay, all these fighters is trash today, shit, maybe all of those fighters were trash in the 80s. True. Maybe a lot of those guys was trash in the 80s too. Maybe a lot of those guys, listen, maybe a lot of those guys was trash in the 90s as well. Vander Holyfield was a good one. Riddick Bowe Big Daddy Bowe was good, but Big Daddy Bowe ducked Lennox Lewis. I don't give Riddick Bowe a whole lot of credit that a lot of my contemporaries would give, because he will always be remembered for me as ducking Lennox Lewis. He threw his belt in the garbage can and he ducked Lennox Lewis. And he never fought him. You can say, well, no, that was a business move he made. Okay, that was a business move he made. Okay, but why he didn't fight him? Why he didn't fight him after the business? So Riddick Bowe I look at Riddick Bowe as he was a good fighter, but he was a ducker. He ducked Lennox Lewis. He held a press conference and threw his belt in the garbage can. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's good, Coach. It's Warren, Alabama.
Warren from Alabama, talk to me.
It's good, man.
What's going on?
I was watching the live. You're talking about as far as being rated.
Yes, sir.
I think it's popularity and money.
Right.
But as long as they're making money off of them, they can put you in the top ranking. I mean, why not? So I think they will make a heavyweight top rated.
Yeah. You're right about that. I understand exactly where you're coming from as it relates to that. But you get what I'm saying though? Where I'm going at with this, because I was watching my brother Blood Bossa show, and he talked about the ranking system being fake, and like you can't make an argument for these guys to say that they're that good because the ranking system is fake. So I said, okay, well, if we're gonna go down that rabbit hole, we got to take it to the 80s too. Maybe those guys wasn't that good. Who's to say they was that good? We can't go by the ranking system of the 80s, because if the ranking systems are fake today, they had to be fake in the 80s. They had to be fake in the 90s. They had to be fake in the 70s. You get what I'm saying? So, so the only criteria that I can see, you gotta have like 60-something fights or 50-something fights or 40-something fights like a Marvin Hagler in order to sit back and put a ranking system for a guy. If you don't have those type of fights, you can't really make a ranking system. If I was to go by that argument. But Warren, thank you for calling in, my brother. Thank you. Salute to you, fam.
Sure.
Yes, sir. I gotta call it the way I see it, dog. I gotta call it the way I see it. Was Mike Tyson really that good? Was he really that good? You get what I'm saying? I got fights, so I'm saying this nigga took a dive. That nigga didn't even get hit. Phantom punch. Sonny Liston. Ali beat Sonny Liston in the second fight, phantom punch. He didn't even hit the man. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Arlette, Coach.
Arlette, talk to me, sis.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just cooking, but I'm listening. I was just on the chat, but I do agree with everything you're saying, and I just wanted to make a comment about, fans are like ruining the sport. I want all these guys to fight each other. That's who you really know who's the best. You can't say because this person beat this person. It doesn't really. That's not how boxing works. Yeah. You said that a million times. It's like beating a dead horse. Yeah. And I was making a comment to Jeff. Jeff, I didn't mean to call you Jen. That was a misprint. I mean, that was a mistype. That was typing real fast.
Yeah.
But what I was really trying to say is that no matter if you do feel that Fury or what's the other guy, Wilder beats AJ, that's fine. But everybody has to admit, Fury and Wilder chose each other because they did not want to fight AJ. Because at that time they thought that each other was the easier fight. Mm-hmm. That's the plain reason. AJ was the top heavyweight. Both of them could have fought him, but they didn't. AJ and Fury and Wilder was in the sport a lot longer than AJ. They could have been. It's the reason why AJ was number one for as long as he has. But whether you think AJ gets smoked by Wilder or Fury, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Everybody can have an opinion, and I admit I was in my feelings, but nobody really knows until they fought each other. You can believe anything you want, but this is a fact. Wilder and Fury both ducked AJ. And it's no argument, it's no disagreement. I don't believe that's $50 million BS. Fury could have fought AJ in the second, or I think it's the third fight, but he chose to fight Wilder again for the third time. For what reason? I don't know. But he could have fought him too, and he could have took AJ out just like Usyk. But it's the reason why Fury and Wilder fought each other instead of fighting AJ. But that's it, Coach. And you're looking better, and you're sounding better.
All right, thank you so much, Arlette. Shout out to my sister Arlette, Harlem's finest. Harlem's finest. So the only way you can sit back and say rank a fighter, you have to have as many fights as Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran had 119 fights. So we talk about Duran, and we talk about, he got 19 losses. No, he got 16 losses. Sorry about that. He got 16 losses, but he fought everybody. He fought Hector Camacho. He was 50 years old when he fought Hector Camacho at 50. He was 47 when he fought William Joppy. He got knocked out. He was 45 years old. So if you ain't fought, now this is the definition of fighting everybody. 43 years old, he fought Vinny Ponziano. You got to fight everybody. He fought Sugar Ray. He fought everybody. He had 100 and something fights. So if we were to go by my brother Blood's criteria, guess what? There's no fighter that's boxing today that can get credit for anything. Because you ain't fought everybody. If we go by what my brother Blood said. And there's no reason to have a ranking system. You get what I'm saying? Because the ranking system is fake. Shout out to Toon. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
I'm gonna say been missing the lives lately. Then been running hard, but catching up in the replays. Though what I missed. Yeah, you ain't really missing nothing. We just talking about rankings, how fighters ain't nobody fighting nobody. We can't go by the ranking system because all the ranking system's fake. So I'm going down the rabbit hole of the fake ranking systems by saying, okay, well shit, they had to be fake in the 70s. They had to be fake in the 80s. They had to be fake in the 90s as well. Because if the ranking systems are fake because boxing is corrupt, surely it was corrupt back then as well. It was corrupt back then as well. So like we can go down this rabbit hole and it's not going to stop. I can promise you, I can nitpick everything from the old school. I can literally nitpick everything from the old school and make it relative to what's going on today. And the only way you can get credit is you're going to have to have as many fights as Roberto.
From the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Carlos, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, hi, this is Carlos from California.
What's your name? Carlos from California?
Carlos, yes.
All right, Carlos from Cali, talk to me.
Well, I was going to ask if we were talking about rankings. Like, let's say that, hypothetically, that I was a fighter and I beat somebody that was an undisputed champion. Now, if I didn't fight any of the other guys, would you put me on the top of the list on the rankings?
You said if you didn't fight any of the other top guys, could I put you on the top of the rankings list?
Right. Yes.
No. You know.
Yeah, because then that would make the argument to ESPN not putting Devin Haney then.
Right. You gotta fight. You know, my criteria, you have to fight the other top guys. But the thing is if all of the other top guys haven't fought each other, then you can't put those guys on the rankings as well.
Right.
I can't put Vasily Lomachenko on the rankings because he didn't fight Devin Haney. He didn't fight Tank Davis. He only fought he fought Richard Commey. He fought Nakatani. But like, brother, listen. I'm not this cynical. I promise you I'm not this cynical, Carlos. I'm not. But I'm trying to make a point. I can literally make this shit so confusing. Like, I can make a person who believes their position so strong, and I can literally say, okay, if that's what we're going to do, then we got to do it for everybody. And I can show him, like, wait a minute, damn, all right, damn, you making a point right there. Shit, well, maybe I'm going to make him second guess himself. Because
right, because
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but that's why I asked you the question, because I'm trying to make them see that there might be a reason why Devin Haney's not on the list, and that a lot of these guys, if they fought each other, then you can make an argument to put them on the list.
Yeah.
But they're not really going after each other.
Right.
They're making excuses or trying to get the bag instead, trying to prioritize money. And so you have all these channels arguing with each other about why he should be or shouldn't be. But the question is, who is he fighting or trying to fight, as opposed to, his relevance right now to the ranking.
Yes, sir. We can't have any rankings because of that. But hey, shout out to Carlos, man, for Cali, man. Thank you, brother. Oh, we got Jason Mones calling in. No caller ID, guys. No caller ID. This is Jason Mones. No caller ID. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, I can't hear you. Can you please speak up, please? I can't hear you, sir. You sound like you got something in your mouth, in your throat. Please speak up so the people can hear you, sir. I can't hear you. Jason, where are you calling from, sir?
Indiana.
Jason from Indiana. You still calling from an Obama phone, I see. Go ahead, Jason. Talk to me.
The King Wilder is back. The King is back.
Sir, I can't hear you, man. Your phone breaking up. You sound real low. Man, Jason, dog, you got to do better, dog. Please get a better phone. Get rid of that Obama phone, my brother. Damn, you've been calling me for almost a year now, and you got that same ragged-ass Obama phone, man. Spit it out. Talk to me. People want to hear you. Go ahead. Speak louder.
The King Wilder is back.
Jason, you got to do better, dog. Jason Mones hung the phone up. He hung the phone up. How do I know it was Jason Mones? He's the only guy that calls me with no caller ID. I don't get it, dog. Sound like he, what did it say, all that? He has something in his mouth and throat, all right. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyways. So, if you haven't had as many fights as Roberto Duran, he has 119 fights. You at least got to have about 50 or 60 fights. Let's continue. Let me show y'all where I'm going at with this. This is a never-ending argument. We ain't giving nobody no credit. Wilder ain't did shit in boxing. Joshua ain't did shit in boxing. Usyk ain't did nothing. Tyson Fury ain't did nothing. Canelo ain't did nothing. Well, let's see. Canelo fought a lot of people, though. And you know what? Canelo fought a lot of people. That might be tough. And he's only 31, so we're going to put him to the side. I'm only going by how many people he fought. That's what we're doing. Let's see. Someone say he ain't fought all the top guys. You can make an argument for that. So we can't go by a ranking system. So we can't say who was the top guy or not. because you use ranking systems to decide who the top guys are. But since the ranking systems are so flawed, we can't use a ranking system. So I don't know how you determine who's the top guy. Like you say, everybody got to fight each other, I guess. So let's go to Larry Holmes then. Let's go to Larry Holmes. Going to the old school. We're going back to the old school because I'm an old fool. That's so cool. Whoop, there it is, Hitman. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Okay. So how do you go? So how do you decide? Let's look at Larry Holmes then. Larry Holmes, he had 75 fights. So I think this is the definition of fighting everybody. He fought everybody. Larry Holmes fought in the 70s. He fought in the 80s. He fought in the 90s. And he fought part of the 2000s. Larry Holmes fought 4 decades. He had 75 fights. So we can't give Tyson Fury credit. We can't say he's a top heavyweight because he haven't had as many fights as Larry Holmes have had. He ain't fought everybody. Usyk ain't had but 19, 20 fights. So we can't sit back and give him credit. But y'all get where I'm going at with this. Let's look at Mike Tyson. My guy, Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson had 58 fights. He won 50 of them. He won 44 by KO. He had 6 losses. One of his losses, he bit a nigga in the ear. That's a form of quitting. And he quit on the stool. And he lost to all of the top guys. He lost to Lennox Lewis. He lost to Buster Douglas, and Buster Douglas wasn't even a top guy. He lost to who all he lost to? Let's look at it. Let's look at the record. He was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. That was true. Mike Tyson was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and he was I think he was the youngest undisputed heavyweight champion as well. But now I'm starting to question some things because if we're going to go down this rabbit hole, we got to go down the rabbit hole. We can't pick and choose what we want to look at. Kevin McBride, he quit on the stool against this guy. He got knocked out by Danny Williams. Mike Tyson did. Lennox Lewis, he bit Lennox Lewis in the leg in the press conference. Lennox Lewis knocked his ass out. They say Mike Tyson was old. Lennox Lewis was a year older than Mike Tyson, so that's no excuse right there. Andrew Gallardo just quit against Mike Tyson. He just quit. I think he had a mental breakdown. Evander Holyfield, he got disqualified and he got knocked out by Evander Holyfield. Buster Mathis, he beat Bruno. He beat Bruce Seldon. Peter McNeely, they found him at the local post office. They fought him at the local post office. Donovan Ruddick, Razor Ruddick. So you can say Mike Tyson fought everybody. You can say that. Mike Tyson fought everybody. So you can make a ranking for Mike Tyson because he fought everybody. Okay? So you can make a ranking for Mike Tyson because he fought everybody. You can make a ranking for Evander Holyfield because he fought everybody. Who you fight matters, right? You can make a ranking for them. Today's heavyweights or even today's fighters, you can't make a ranking for none of them. Maybe you, okay, what matter of fact, hold on, Mike Tyson have had what? 58 fights. Some of these fighters took dives against him too. Peter McNeely didn't try to fight. He was trash. You're going to see a lot of dives. You're going to see some dives in the 80s. Phantom punches. You know what I mean? Not trying to discredit from Mike Tyson, but I'm just being honest with you. Some dudes were scared before they even stepped in the ring. Larry Holmes was scared when he stepped in the ring. What other man name? Michael Spinks. He just laid down. He didn't even fight. You get what I'm saying? Laid down. So 35-0. Tyson was 35-0 at that time. Pinklin Thomas, Buster, he beat Bone Crusher Smith, Trevor Burbick. He beat Jose Rabalta. Mitch Green. Mitch Green wasn't nobody, to be honest with you. James Tillis. You get what I'm saying? I can poke holes, but listen, bro. This, bro, I can do a series on this. I can do a series on this. So basically, you can't give any of these fighters credits today if they haven't had as many fights as someone like maybe a Roberto Duran or a Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson had 58 fights. I think the only guy that's close to having that many fights right now is I think the boy from Mexico. Let's look at Canelo. Hate to go here. I know I'm using the C word. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use the C word, guys, but using the C word. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Coach? It's your boy Blood. How you doing, brother?
Blood, talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Okay, let me tell you what I think about this whole thing.
Okay.
For this to be more accurate, you would have to pull a ranking from when Larry Holmes was the champion, right? You'd have to pull like a 1985 ranking to see how legit that ranking is up to the ranking of today.
Okay.
And that's similar to what I did, like I've been doing on my Hagler documentary.
Yeah,
like I'll give you an example. If you take like May 1978, right, and you take the middleweight division, you have Rodrigo Valdez, who fought Hugo Curro and fought Gracie Tunner. Colbert fought Hagler. He fought Edgar Bad News Wallace. Minter had fought Tunner, and he had fought Ronnie Harris. Briscoe had fought Antifermo. Wallace had fought Love. So the majority, in fact, every person on that top 10 had fought somebody else from the top 10. This is May of 1978. I'm willing to bet if you take a ranking of now, of August of 2022 in the middleweight division, I'm willing to bet that one of those sanctioning bodies has a ranking where not one fighter has fought another fighter. So that's why the rankings of back then are better. And you're right. They didn't get all of the fights done. They didn't get them all done. But for us to really be accurate, we would have to pull a 1987 ranking for Mike Tyson to see how legit that ranking was. Of course, we're only going to have 3 sanctioning bodies to deal with then, because the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF will be the only ones listed.
Yeah. The WBO didn't come around to like 88 or 89, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
They came around at that time. It wasn't even considered to be legit until the 2000s, until 2005 or something like that. I mean, they would place their rankings, but that's the best way to do it. You have to pull a ranking. Like if we talk about Larry Holmes, then we got to pull a 1982 ranking. And we'll find out that Larry Holmes was not an undisputed champion. He didn't fight them all because he damn sure didn't fight Greg Page and didn't fight Michael Dokes. There's a whole bunch of them. Pinklin Thomas, all kinds. There's a handful. Tony Tucker, Tony Tubbs. He didn't fight none of those guys, man. He didn't want to fight a lot of the younger fighters at that time, but he was a more dominant champion because he had a 20-fight reign, 20 defenses. He had like 20 defenses, and he had been fighting there for a while. Just when he got older, he didn't want to fight some of the younger fighters. The rankings in 85 probably won't look as good as the ones in 82, but when you have a ranking system where not one guy has fought another guy, and it's been like that for like 5 or 6 years or even 7 or 8, then I have a problem with people saying things like Anthony Joshua fought 7 ranked opponents and Deontay Wilder only fought 2. Well, the ranking systems have been fake. And when I say that, when I say fake, I mean not one guy has fought another guy. Like when I did the lightweight spreadsheet, for instance, come to find out, Richard Comey, and we had a Richard Comey fight last night, but him and Lomachenko were the only 2 that had fought across the board in the lightweight division. So those rankings, to me, I have a real high issue with, because when you only have 2 fighters and all of these rankings and 4 sanctioning bodies that have fought each other, and then you could take it back to a May of 1978 ranking and find all kind of guys who fought each other. Valdez fought Corro and Tunner. Colbert fought Hagler and Edgar Wallace. Minter fought Tunner and Harris. Briscoe fought Antifermo. Wallace fought Love. All of this was in May. These guys were all in May. There's not one guy that you can find in that ranking that hasn't fought somebody else. So that's the more legit ranking. They just need to make some improvements with the ranking.
So let me ask you this. So if, let's say, how do you determine, because the argument that Joshua fans make is this: he fought guys in the top 10.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying. You're saying that the ranking system is fake. So how do you, what does Anthony Joshua has to do in order for you to say, okay, I can give him credit because he fought this guy, this guy, this guy? But when you look at someone like a Wilder, you can say, okay, well, it's a whole lot of people he didn't fight, but Joshua might have fought more people than Wilder has fought that are top guys. What you're saying is, because of the ranking system, you can't really say these guys are top guys. So it's your opinion that Wilder hasn't done shit since he's been in boxing, and Joshua hasn't done shit since he's been in boxing, and Tyson Fury hasn't done anything, he ain't fought nobody, and Usyk hasn't done anything, he hasn't fought anybody?
My point is that the rankings are fake because they don't look like the ones of May of 1978. At that time, I was able to determine who I might think might be the better guy because so many of those guys in the top 10 have fought each other. And when you have Wilder and AJ, you have a bunch of guys who were on the ranking systems at one time, because I did a spreadsheet on this maybe like 4 years ago. Okay. And there was a time where Dillian White was ranked number 1 and hadn't fought anybody else in the top 10. Derek Chisora was ranked 12 at the time or something like that. And I don't think he had fought Joseph Parker yet. But when I had originally did that. But, other than that, the other 2 or 3 sanctioning bodies had nobody who fought nobody. There was like not one person in the sanctioning bodies that had fought another guy. And then when I pull up a 1985 ranking, I don't see that. I see like 2 guys who have fought, usually 2 or 3. Sometimes all of them have fought, like the one I just gave you, for example. All of them have fought somebody else in the top 10, sometimes multiple guys.
So how do you put together a ranking system today? How would you put the ranking system together? Because I can make an argument and say, okay, well, shit, Terrence Crawford don't deserve to be in no ranking system because he ain't fought none of the top guys for the most part. And how do you determine who's the top guy or not in today's time? How do you determine that?
That's what I'm saying. You can't. That's why I don't believe in the ranking systems, because how many Ocampos do we have out there? Like I said earlier, how many of these guys are Ocampos and how many of those guys are the Kambosos type? I don't really know because they don't fight each other, right? And then these guys are really inactive. It's hard to make an argument, and it's even hard for you, coach, to play devil's advocate in this situation because the inactivity of these fighters, right? That's one thing that you have to look at. Not only that, the fact that these guys have yet to face each other. So it's really hard for you to play devil's advocate. I know that's what you're trying to do, but it's very hard for you to do. It's very hard for you to do in this situation when you have a ranking system where every guy, and I've just given you an example of one, where every guy has not only just fought everybody, some of the guys have fought 2 or 3 guys on the ranking system. So that's a different kind of ranking. I wouldn't have a complaint with a ranking like that.
So would you say, okay, a fighter has to have at least 40, 50 fights for you can even consider him being in the ranking system? That's so you can look and see how many of those guys he fought? Now
that's a very hard question, because now you're asking me as a fight fan to what should I do to how would I rearrange the rankings to hold some kind of criteria, I guess. I think that these guys need to fight each other, man. There needs to be some kind of a tournament or something, because, I mean, without them, like, if they have 2 of these guys fight each other, they should rank them higher automatically. If 2 of the top 10 guys fight each other, and then they're not fighting some Joe Blow that we don't never heard of, they should get a higher ranking on the next month. They can straighten it out. The sanctioning bodies can straighten it out.
This is a question I have. You say if he fights, if somebody in the top 10 fight each other, that's how you could do it. How do you determine who's in the top 10?
Well, right now we have a top 10, right? A fake top 10. Okay. So we'll just take what we have right now and work with that. What else can we do?
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You take what you have right now, work with that, and next month, so right now the sanctioning body should say, all of you guys that are in the top 10, you got to sign to fight someone else in the top 10, because we're going to start holding a legit ranking now. You got to fight. You got to do something like what they did in May of '78. I looked at May of '78. I looked at the heavyweights, and there was more heavyweights, way more than what's now, that had fought each other.
All right. So
right?
now, so now we're going back to the Joshua. Okay. Well, if I use that argument, Joshua's fought more top 10 guys. You see what I'm saying?
When the reality of it comes down to it, Joshua has fought more top 10 guys because that's where they was ranked.
Right.
You know, that's where they had him ranked. So if I'm not the one. I never looked at it for myself to really see if that's true because people tell me things and then I'll do the research for myself and it'll be something different. But okay, you guys claim that Joshua's fought more top 10 guys. I'm telling you that if you have a top 10 where nobody has fought nobody, then I'm not buying it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. If they want to buy it, that's up to them. But I'm not going to buy it, though, because I've been looking at these rankings for years now, and nobody's never did nothing about it, right? The sanctioning bodies, they're not questioned by the media. Nobody never has nothing to say, man. So, this is the way it's been now for several years.
Right. Yeah, I get your point. I get exactly where you're coming from. And I'm looking at it from both sides. I'm like, okay, well, I see what you're saying about the rank system being fake. And we're saying, okay, the only way we can know all of these guys have to fight each other. And then they say, okay, well, who that's why I'm asking, okay, how do you come with come together with a ranking system? You say, well, these guys got to fight the guys in the top 10.
Use what they have now. They should just use what they have now.
Okay.
And then tell each other, the sanctioning body should tell everyone in the top 10, hey, you got to fight someone else in the top 10. And that's how we're going to be established in our ratings moving forward or something like that.
Okay. And
part of the reason why Don King and them, and you bring this up a lot, and it's true. Part of the reason why Don King in that tournament in the late 70s, why that shit was canceled. And then CBS followed suit after ABC, right? And they canceled all these tournaments because Don King and these promoters were giving the networks fake ranking systems and records. So it had to do with the ranking systems and the records. So because of that, the networks cut their relationship with boxing and told them, hey, you get this shit straight, come back to us and give us something better. They don't seem to do that anymore. The networks would just, when they closed these deals in the early 2000s and stuff, I don't think they were looking for legit records anymore. I mean, the research is out there. It could be done, because I was able to find stuff on how they was operating back in the late 70s when that shit went on with Don King.
Yeah, Haleen is making the argument. He's saying Wilder lost 2, Joshua lost 2, Usyk and Fury didn't lose any. Yeah, but who you fight matters. So it doesn't matter if there's other fighters that don't have losses in the heavyweight division, Haleen. Your argument the flaw in that argument is this. All of these guys, Fury only fought Wilder and Usyk only fought Joshua. Yeah, they're undefeated, but they're going to have to fight the other guys in order to come to a determination or a conclusion. You get what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying, but if I'm using this argument that blood boxing is talking about, guess what? Usyk being undefeated and Fury being undefeated don't mean shit if they haven't fought the other guys. So I don't think we can say they're the champs. I'm using that argument. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Hey, Blood, anything else you want to say, my brother?
No, bro. You got it covered. Great job, Coach. Good to talk to you again, my brother.
Yes, sir. Salute
Take it
Blood.
easy.
Yes, sir. You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, shit, he ain't fought this guy. He ain't fought that guy. And then how do you determine who's going to be in the top 10? Or how do you determine that? See, you get what I'm saying, dog? This shit going to be subjective. This shit going to be subjective to the individual. It's going to be a non-ending cycle. Because guess what? I pull up Canelo resume, right? I pull up Canelo resume. Let's look at Canelo. Canelo don't have 61 fights. He's 32 years old. He's had 61 fights, 66-1. He has 2 losses and two draws. Well, Canelo, he ain't fought no people who don't like Canelo, they'll say he ain't fought. No, but okay, let's look and see who he fought then. Let's look and see who he fought. He's fighting Triple G for the 3rd time. He's fought Dimitri Bivol. However you decide to rank Dimitri Bivol, I don't know, right? He fought Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant ain't fought nobody, but he ain't fought nobody. Caleb Plant got a trash resume, but he fought, he can only fight who they put in front of him. Canelo fought him. So do you give him credit for that? He fought Billy Joe Saunders. People would say, well, Billy Joe ain't fought nobody. He was a Eurobomb. All right, cool. All right, that's what a lot of, listen, I'm going to take your words and throw it back at you. They say that he was a Eurobomb, right? Okay, cool. All right, cool. He fought Abney Yildirim. Abney Yildirim wasn't nobody, okay? He fought Callum Smith, another Eurobomb. He fought an old Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev was old. He a Eurobomb too. He fought Danny Jacobs, okay? He beat Danny Jacobs, slick black fighter. He fought Rocky Fielding. Rocky Fielding is a Eurobomb. Okay, Gennady Golovkin. Okay, Gennady Golovkin was looked upon as that guy at that time, okay? Julio Cesar Chavez, he was on coke, washed up. Liam Smith. But what I'm saying is, look at the names he fought. Just look at the names. Mira Khan moved up in weight there, Miguel Cotto, James Kirkland. He fought Eris Landy Lara, Alfredo Angulo. He fought Floyd Mayweather. He fought Austin Trout. He fought Josecito Lopez. He fought Shane Mosley. He fought Matthew Hatton, Carlos Boldemir. He fought Miguel Cotto and Jose Cotto. All these other dudes from Mexico, I don't know those other guys at the bottom. Right? He fought Liam Smith. You get what I'm saying? So, if you say he ain't fought nobody, he ain't fought enough guys, he's had 61 fights. Okay, fine. We can make that argument, right? Let's say you're right. Let's say Canelo ain't fought nobody. You ain't gonna want me to pull up Deontay Wilder's resume. You see where I'm going at with this? Do you see where I'm going at with this? You ain't gonna want me to pull up Jamal Charlo's resume. Toon, what you say, family? Say, look at Golovkin resume. All right, that's a good idea, Toon. I'm finna look him up right now. Fam. I got you right here. Do you get what I'm saying? Do y'all see where I'm going at with this? Oh, the plot thickens. The plot thickens. But this can be a 5 or 6 hour live right now. This can be a 5 or 6 hour live. The plot thickens. If I take my brother Blood's argument about the fake ranking system and these guys ain't really fought nobody, okay, cool. If I say, okay, yeah, well, you gotta look who he fought in the top 10. We can Blood admitted himself, we can only go by what they have out there today. So we can only go by the ranking system that they have out there today. Anthony Joshua has fought more top 10 opponents than Fury and Wilder. And this ain't bigging up Joshua, but I'm saying that we're gonna use the top 10 argument. You can't pick and choose when you want to use that argument. You can't argue both sides of the coin. You can't argue heads and tails. You can't do that. You can't argue heads and tails. Because you can't say we're gonna see how many people he fought in the top 10 to determine whether he was a good fighter or not in one breath, but then turn around and trash the top 10 in the next breath. Come on, man. Like, y'all confusing me. I've been watching this shit 41 years. Y'all confusing me. I'm confused. So we got to have a tournament. How do you decide who's in the tournament? How do you determine who the top guys is in order to put them in the tournament? If you're not giving none of the guys any credit. You get what I'm saying? And we're not going to give none of these guys credit and the ranking system some bullshit. How do we determine who's in the top 10? You may feel like, well, shit, heavyweight division, Ergovic deserved to be in there, and shit, I might be like, shit, well, you may feel like, well, shit, Daniel Dubois, he deserved to be in the top 10. I may feel like, man, Daniel Dubois trash. He ain't fought nobody. He don't deserve to be in the top 10. How do you determine who should be in the top 10? Layer after layer after layer after layer. Then you say, okay, we need to have a tournament. Okay, fine, let's have a tournament. How do you determine who should be in the tournament? Well, you decide who to be in the tournament based on who they got in the top 10. The top 10, that's fake. So we're using a fake top 10, a fake ranking system to put together a tournament. You see where I'm going at with this shit? You see where I'm going at with this shit? If you confused, I'm just as confused as you is. I'm confused. Not gonna lie. Let's look at Gennady Golovkin. This is my brother Toon. He said he want to see Gennady Golovkin. Okay, let's see. Let's see who Gennady Golovkin fought. Triple G. Let's go to Triple G. This is Wikipedia. I didn't want to. I could have pulled up BoxRec, but it's pretty accurate. Let's see who Triple G fought. How do you determine that Gennady Golovkin is one of the top guys in boxing? Look at who he fought. He fought Gabe Rosado, 2013. TKO. And Triple G has been in the middleweight division his entire career, right? He's been in the middleweight division his entire career. He fought Gabe Rosado in 2013. Matthew McCacklin. Curtis Stevens. Oh, this guy right here. Well, this shit don't look good at all. Marco Antonio Rubio. Boy, this shit do not look good. Martin Murray. Oh, he fought William Monroe Jr. David Lemieux. Okay. Dominique Wade. Kell Brook. Kell Brook moved up in weight to fight him. So people don't give him credit for that. He fought Daniel Jacobs, the Magic Man. I thought Daniel Jacobs won that fight. I thought he got robbed. Well, I thought it was a close fight. I ain't gonna say robbed, but it was a close fight. He fought Canelo Alvarez to a draw. Then he fought Vanes. I can't even pronounce this dude's last name. Look like he got a bunch of Reggie belts over here. He fought Canelo again. He fought Steve Rose. Okay. He fought Sergey Derevyanchenko. I thought Sergey Derevyanchenko beat Triple G. Body shots is breaking him up that whole fight. He fought Camille. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Then he fought Ryota Murata. Fought this guy. And then he fighting Canelo Alvarez again. Triple G resume is hot doo-doo. Triple G resume is hot doo-doo. He got a few fighters on there, but he didn't fight Andrade. He didn't fight Jamal Charlo. He didn't fight, let's see. Let's look at Murata. This who Triple G beat. This dude, Murata, resume is hot doo-doo. He fought Bruno Sandoval. He fought Hassan G-Cam. He fought him twice. He fought Emmanuel Blandamura. Never heard of him. Fought a dude named Rob Brandt, and he lost to him. Lost to a dude named Rob Brandt. I don't know who the hell that is. Rob Brandt is an American professional boxer, okay? He rematched Rob Brandt, and he stopped him with TKO. He fought Steven Butler, and then he fought Triple G. Murata ain't fought no goddamn body. His resume worse than Triple G. So Canelo got more names on his resume. So I guess you can put him in the ranking system. You can put Canelo in the ranking system. You get what I'm saying? Bro, like, we can go down the yellow brick road all day long, and I can discredit every last one of your favorite fighters. I can discredit Terrence Crawford. I can discredit Errol Spence. I can discredit Anthony Joshua. I can discredit Deontay Wilder. I can discredit Jared Anderson. But I can discredit all of them. Ain't but a couple. You get what I'm saying? Y'all see where I'm going at with this? I don't know what to say, dog. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say, dog. Demetrius Andrade resume is hot doo-doo. Jamal Charlo resume is hot doo-doo. True. Tank Davis resume is hot doo-doo. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence resumes, hot doo-doo. If that's this where we going at. This where we going at, right? This where we going at. Can't be picking and choosing. We can't be picking and choosing. We got to use our criteria, because the criteria we're using, did all of the guys, did you fight everybody in your division? Did you fight all of the top guys? If the answer is no, guess what? Your resume hot doo-doo. How do they have you ranked? You ain't fought nobody. There we go. Ryan Garcia resume, hot doo-doo. Teofimo Lopez resume, hot doo-doo. Can't be picking and choosing. No, we're gonna keep that same energy across the board. If Anthony Joshua resume is trash, you know goddamn well Deontay Wilder's resume got to be more trash than that. And we can't even talk about King Kong Ortiz, the boogeyman of the division. Tyson Fury ain't beat nobody but 2 people. His resume trash too then. And we going by that logic. Oleksandr Usyk, his resume trash. He ain't really fought nobody in the heavyweight division. Devin Haney resume is trash if we go by that logic too. You guys see where I'm coming from? You picking up what I'm putting down? None of your fighters is good. All them niggas trash. The Euro bombs is trash, and the Black American fighters and the Hispanic fighters, they trash too. All of them trash, if that's the case. Ain't none of them good. All of them ain't fought each other. The closest thing you got to being good is Canelo Alvarez. And I'm not saying that because I hate black folks and I'm a coon. I'm saying if the man got 61 fights. Canelo Alvarez has 61 fights. 61. 61 fights Canelo Alvarez has. 32 years old. That's all I'm saying, fam. So the closest thing to creating a ranking system for a fighter is Canelo Alvarez. I'm shitting on all your fighters. I'm shitting on all of your favorite fighters. And I'm using the criteria. I'm using that criteria. I'm shitting on all of them. Even my favorite fighter, shitting on him too. Everybody get defecated on. Shout out to Toon. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Cool. Toon, what to say, fam? He say, Pacquiao fought everybody. Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part. When we say everybody, we're not saying that you might have missed a fighter here or there, but for the most part, you look at the totality of how many fighters that you fought. That's what you look at. You get what I'm saying? You got to look at the totality of how many fighters you fought. I think Manny Pacquiao don't have 60-something fights? He's had 60-something fights, fam. He said, because I don't remember him fighting Canelo or Crawford. He ran for Crawford for years. That's just 2 fighters, though. That's just 2 fighters. You get what I'm saying, too?
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
And you got to look at which weight class Manny Pacquiao was in and which weight class was Canelo Alvarez in as well. You got to look at that too. You got to factor all of that. Now the Crawford, you got an argument with the Crawford thing, but then you got to look at everybody who he fought. Like Manny Pacquiao fought every goddamn body. For the most part. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Steve from California.
Steve from California, talk to me.
Great show, Coach.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you doing this.
Yes, sir.
A couple points, and you and Blood brought it up. The only real way to determine the rankings is a tournament.
Yeah.
Reality. You get, and the other way would be the amateur system. So if you got Olympic gold medalist coming in, he's got to be, coming up. And there's got to be a foundation on this, and then you build from it. And then the other thing will be level of competition. Who is, just say Canelo fought, Joe Schmo. But Joe Schmo fought already a bunch of undefeated fighters.
Right.
Then you got to put credit on that win, okay, if he wins.
Yeah.
That would be my way of judging. Because in the 80s, and I don't know if you remember, like Too Tall Jones, Mark Gastineau, these type of, now Jake Paul, they built these guys up 20-0 fighting guys like me. You know what I mean? There's no credibility. There's no credibility in their wins. So it's the level of competition who you fought. So like on Canelo's resume, he's fought people who beat people, you know, actual legitimate champions. And that's the way, for me as a boxing fan, I look at stuff. If, you know, like I said, if you fought people like me, then there's no credibility. But if you fought real legitimate top 10 champions, or, you know, like, and so on, then there's, you know, you got to put some credibility on the win, or even the loss. Even the loss against excuse me.
I see what you're saying as relate to. In order to put together, see, this was my issue at first. How do you put together a top 10? So what you're saying is the only way how do you put together a top 10? Who's to say, okay, well, he got to fight that guy. All right, well, I can come back and say, well, shit, those guys ain't shit. What about these other undefeated guys? I think those guys are better than him. It's always going to be an argument. You like in order to have a tournament, how do you determine who's in the tournament?
Well, it's the level of competition I understand totally. But the level, just say, like I said, I'm gonna use me as an example. If you beat people like me, then there's no credibility. But if you beat all right, hey, great coach. Great job, coach. You know, thank you for putting this out. Because I've been a boxing fan like you. Since I'm 8, I'm 54.
Yes, sir.
So a long time, and I followed the sport. But there's a lot of new fans, which is great because I want boxing fans. But they're learning through YouTube and your show, Blood, and a few others on my hand. They're the only legit shows that are really like speaking true boxing. And if you follow these other guys who push in like an agenda or a narrative or a popularity contest, then what they're learning is from that guy's opinion. You know what I mean? It's not facts, it's opinion.
It's opinion, yeah.
And anyways, keep up the great job, coach. Big fan of you.
Man, shout out to Steven, man. Calling from Cali, man. Thank you, brother. Give a round of applause. Shout out to Quentin. Hey, okay. Dropping that $2 bam super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said the name of your boy, y'all. He said the name of the boy y'all was locked up with. Question mark. He said he got punched. Shout out to Quentin. I don't understand what
down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
So my brother Toon talked about Manny Pacquiao. So this is my criteria. This is how I look at it. I'm gonna give you guys my criteria. And I say it time and time again on this show. Who you fight matters. I am very consistent at saying that. I look at who you fight matters, and I go by the ranking system. I go by today's ranking system. So whoever you have ranked in the top 10, that's what I go by. But if I take my brother Blood's boxing position that all of the ranking systems are fake, then what do I have to go by? If you take the ranking system away from me, what do I have to go by to gauge whether a fighter is number 1 or number 2 or number 3 if I take the ranking system away? So now, if we take the ranking system away, how do we create a ranking system? How do we rank fighters so that I can make a ranking system and then make my judgment based on that? Clearly, I can't use the ranking system today because it's fake. So if it's fake, then how do I go about ranking a fighter? How do I decide, okay, who deserves to be in the tournament? I can't say, well, if he fought that guy, and then that guy fought that guy, and he fought all these other guys. That don't mean I can rank those guys high. That don't mean I can rank him high because he beat those guys. You get what I'm saying? How can I say, well, how do I rank that guy high? So the only way to clear all doubt, you're going to have a lot of fights. You're going to have at least 50 to 60 fights. Any fighter that don't have that many fights, you can't say, you know, well, he beat the top guys in his division. Yeah, but the ranking systems don't matter. They're fake. You get what I'm saying? So were they really top guys? Like, bro, it's me. I go by the ranking system. I go by whether they fake or not. I go by the ranking system that we have today, because that's the only thing you can go by. The ranking system was fake today. They was fake in the 80s. They was fake in the 70s. They was fake in the 90s. And they was fake before that, because boxing is a corrupt sport. Boxing is a corrupt sport. You get what I'm saying? So I take the opinion that they have always been fake. That's just my opinion. Shout out to Ahmed for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Ahmed, what to say, fam? You say salute to the caller. Yes, sir.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hey, Blunts, what you say, fam? You say, Coach, can the same argument be had for women's boxing? The same argument can be had for women's boxing. The only problem with women's boxing, Big Blunts, is this. Women's boxing don't have a lot of competition. They don't have a lot of competition in women's boxing. So Katie Taylor, she might be the only skilled person in her weight division. You get what I'm saying? And Amanda Serrano, she might be the only skilled person in her weight division. So women's boxing is just kind of hard. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't but a handful of women that can fight real good, and everybody else, they just, you get what I'm saying? Women's boxing is even harder. Pause. It's harder to gauge that. Tune, what he say? He said Usyk and Fury ranked #1 with different sanctioning bodies. The sanctioning bodies are corrupt. You can move people up and down the sanctioning bodies however you want. Don King did it for years. PBC doing it right now. So the sanctioning body don't mean shit. You get what I'm saying? This is a rabbit. Listen, this is a rabbit hole that's going to discredit all of your favorite fighters. Whoever your favorite fighter is, this rabbit hole is going to discredit every last one of them. You get what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let's pull up Manny Pacquiao. 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 Hold on. All right, Toon says Manny Pacquiao. Okay. Manny Pacquiao. Let's pull up him. All right. Manny Pacquiao had 70 fights. He's had 70. 70. That's how many he had. So you'll be hard pressed to say that Manny Pacquiao has a weak resume. He's had 70 fights. And let's look at who he fought. He fought your Dennis Ugas. Dennis Ugas ain't nobody. Listen, let me tell you something. To me, your Dennis Ugas is trash to me. I don't think highly of Ugas. Anybody beat Ugas' ass, you ain't beat nobody. He ain't nobody to me. I'm just being honest with you. He's a Cuban fighter, but he ain't all that. Just calling the way I see it. My opinion. Keith Thurman, he beat Keith Thurman. He beat Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner lost all of his step-up fights. Adrian Broner lost all of his step-up fights. Every time he stepped up to some tough competition, he got beat. Very similar to Mike Tyson. He fought Lucas Matisse. He lost to Jeff Horn, but he fought him. He beat Jesse Vargas. He beat him and Timothy Bradley had 3 fights. He lost to Floyd Mayweather. He fought Chris Algieri. That ain't nobody. He fought Timothy Bradley again. He fought Brandon Rios. He fought Juan Manuel Marquez. Marquez killed him in his last fight, put him to sleep, put him in a coma, but he fought Timothy Bradley. Manny Pacquiao got robbed in this fight. He beat Timothy Bradley this fight. He got robbed, in my opinion. He fought Marquez 4 times. He fought Shane Mosley. He fought Antonio Margarito. He fought Joshua Clottey. He fought Miguel Cotto. He fought Ricky Hayden. He fought Oscar De La Hoya. He fought Marco Antonio Barrera. He fought Eric Morales twice. He fought Eric Morales here. He fought him 3 times. That's right. Lost the first time. Fought Antonio Barrera again. He fought Emmanuel Lucero. Look at who he fought. He fought everybody. And how many of these guys he fought are Hall of Famers? How many guys he fought as Hall of Famers? Got to look at that too. To say that Manny Pacquiao ducked people because he didn't fight 2 guys, and one guy he couldn't have ducked Canelo. Canelo wasn't even in his weight division. Now, yeah, he did fight people that catch weights. I get what you're saying, but you know, to point those 2 fighters out and ignore the other 40 or 50 fighters he's fought is being disingenuous. But hey, I'm not here to change your mind, my brother. Think how you want to think. So if the fighters today don't have as many fights as Canelo Alvarez or Manny Pacquiao, they don't get no credit. Whether it's heavyweight, whether it's middleweight, whether it's junior middleweight, whether it's welterweight, if they haven't had as many fights as those guys, Canelo or the Manny Pacquiao, guess what? They don't get no credit. They ain't fought nobody. They ain't fought all of the top guys. How do you determine what are the top guys or not? You can only use the ranking system, but the ranking system is fake. I'm using that logic. That's the logic I'm using. You get what I'm saying? Let's give everybody a round of applause. So the moral of the story is this. You pick and choose which fighters you want to give credit to and which fighters you don't want to give credit to. We know that. That's what's going on today. You pick and choose which ones you want to give credit to and which ones you don't want to give credit to. What I did was I stripped everything down. That's what I did. Stripped everything down. Mustafa, shout out to Mustafa Malik. Hey, okay. Dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, have you seen Ray Mercer interview on Wilder Fight Hype? Yes, I did. I saw that. I saw what he said.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
And this is my argument. If you could say Canelo Alvarez ain't fought nobody, and Manny Pacquiao haven't fought anybody, surely you don't believe that these fighters that's fighting today have fought somebody. Tank Davis ain't fought nobody, if that's the case. Terrence Crawford ain't fought nobody. Errol Spence ain't fought nobody. Devin Haney ain't fought nobody. If Manny Pacquiao haven't fought anybody, and he got a resume, he got quite a few Hall of Famers on his resume. Canelo got quite a few Hall of Famers on his resume. Surely Tank Davis ain't fought nobody. You got to believe that too, right? You got to believe Devin Haney ain't fought nobody. You got to do that too, right? We're not going to pick and choose. We're going to use that criteria for all of the fighters. Gary Antoine Russell Jr., he ain't fought no goddamn body. Shakur Stevenson, he ain't fought nobody neither. If Manny Pacquiao ain't fought nobody, surely them jitterbugs ain't fought nobody. You get what I'm saying? Oh, no. What you mean he ain't fought nobody? No, I'm using your logic. You can't argue both sides of the coin. You can't say do as I say, not as I do. You can't say tails, these guys ain't fought nobody, but then heads, my fighter fought somebody. While acknowledging that your fighter did less than what that fighter did that you're discrediting. How can your fighter beat somebody and he did less than what this guy did? And I talked about this the other day. What we have in boxing today, shout out to Mustafa. Oh, yeah, I did that, fan. What we have in boxing today is this. We have boxing fans that discredit the fighters who do the most, and they praise the fighters that do the less. If that makes sense. You can have a fighter that's fought all of the champions, that beat all of the champions in his division. You can take a fighter that's been a champion for 8 years. He's knocked out all of the top guys, not all of the top guys. He's knocked out 10 of his 11 opponents. He's won multiple belts in multiple weight divisions. He's unified a division. You guys are take someone like that and discredit him and say his accomplishments don't mean anything while praising another fighter because he got more Instagram followers, because he sold out the Barclays Center, because he's done all of these things, but his accomplishments in boxing are wanting. He ain't fought nobody. You'll praise the guy who hasn't fought anybody while tearing down the other guy who's fought Hall of Famers. You'll say he ain't done nothing. Make that make sense to me. True, true, true. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Frank, you picking up what I'm putting down now? Make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Please, I'm begging you. They argue both sides of the coin. They argue heads and tails. You can't beat them. You can't beat these guys. This is why when you're having a debate with them or a discussion about boxing, you lead a conversation more confused than you was entering the conversation. Because you don't understand, why is this person not getting it? This person don't see the double standard that they're using. This person don't see the contradictions that they're using. They don't see it. They don't see it. So Loma is worse than Tank and Haney because he has lost, but he fought better competition. Bless. Hey, you see what I'm saying? I mean, sorry about Bless. Arlette, you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going at with this? They can't even explain it. I can explain their position better than them. I'm showing them the flaw in their logic. That's what this show, that's what today's show is about. I'm showing them the flaws in their logic. This is the flaw. You do know this is the flaw in your logic, right? You do know that shit. You know, if I go by your logic, I can do this, and this now. But for me to say Manny Pacquiao duck smoke, it's disingenuous. Yeah, he probably ain't fight Crawford. I can give you that, but damn, dog. Like, what more do you want him to do? What more do you want him to do? If he fought Mothra, if he fought Voltron, if he fought Optimus Prime, if he fought Megatron, if he fought Bumblebee, Starscream, if he fought Vegeta, if he fought Goku, Gohan, if he fought Piccolo, but he didn't fight Ultraman or Lion-O, you're gonna hold that against him? Well, he ain't fight Ultraman, he ain't fight Lion-O, but he fought the other killers. He fought the other monsters. Yeah, but that don't mean nothing. But Tank Davis hasn't fought any of the monsters in his division, but you're going to give him credit while taking away from the guy who fought 15 monsters. He fought 15 out of 17 killers. And you're going to say, well, he ain't fighting them other 2 killers. We're going to take away from him. Yeah, but the guy you're capping for, he fought 0 killers. Yeah, but the guy who fought 0 killers, he done a whole lot more than the guy who fought 15 killers. I'm confused.
True.
I'm confused. I'm confused. I really am. I'm confused, y'all. And I'm done. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Dundada say, let's go through Loma record. Lomachenko record don't look good either. Because the argument is going to be made, he's beating up on little guys. And then when he fought a tough guy, and he lost his first or second fight or something like that to a bum, a journeyman. They're going to say he lost. Then he lost to Teofimo Lopez. You know, Teofimo ain't really fought nobody. Teofimo ain't fight Tank. Teofimo ain't fight Devin Haney. Teofimo ain't fight Ryan Garcia. They gonna fight. He fought Richard Commey, but that's about it. He fought Nakatani, but those guys ain't fighting anybody. Do you see where I'm going at with this? We're just gonna have an entire show discrediting every fighter in the sport of boxing. That's a top guy. It's a lose-lose situation. Chris, what you say? You say facts, coach. It's a lose-lose situation.
True.
What's the point of even watching the sport? Don't even give nobody no credit. Because if I go by that logic, I can only give a handful of old school fighters credit. If I go by that logic, I can only give a handful. All those old school guys, they wasn't top guys. All those old school guys, they wasn't great. It was only a handful of them that was great. The rest of them was trash. The old school guys. A lot of them old school guys was trash. It wasn't nothing but a handful of them that was good. Oh, man, it is what it is, man. I was going to give everybody a shout out today, but we ran kind of long, so I'm not going to give everybody a shout out. I'm just going to say shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Too many names to name. All I'm saying is your favorite fighter ain't I'm not impressed with none of them.
We the Charlo twins. We known for calling everybody out.
Please call these people out. Listen, the whole world's looking at you. Call these people out,
What's up? It's the Jamal the Hitman Charlo. Let's get it. Who want it?
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Mexican monster.
Mello. And you know what we do? If none of the fighters fought in the tournament, we can't give none of them credit. Tyson Fury, he don't get no credit. Oleksandr Usyk gets credit. He fought in the tournament. Terrence Crawford, he beat all the champions in his division to become undisputed. Jamel Charlo, he beat the other champions in his division to become undisputed. So you can make an argument for them. Errol Spence, he beat other champions in his division to become unified. So you can make an argument for that. But then you can make a counter argument. Well, he ain't fight this guy. He ain't fight that guy. He ain't fight that guy. So you can make a counter argument to tear Errol Spence down. You can make a counter argument to tear Terrence Crawford down. And if I can make an argument to tear them down, surely I can make an argument to tear down other fighters. What you say, fam? But who was in the tournament? Only Usyk. So that's my point. Then guess what? Ain't none of them. You can't give none of them credit. If we go by these logics. Do you see how stupid these logics are? Conshonery, do you see how stupid these logics are? It's very stupid. To me, it's stupid. To me. Once again, it's our boy Coach Malachi Williams signing out. New Media Today USA Boxing. We're going to go out Devin Haney style. Shout out to my brother Toon.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
I can also make an argument for this and say, well, you know what? Hey, Ahmed, we're gonna do midnight conversations tomorrow. I can also make an argument for this. I can say, well, shit, I can't give Tyson Fury credit because Tyson Fury is a drug cheat. He got popped dirty. This is why I have Oleksandr Usyk as the #1 heavyweight in the world. Tyson Fury is a known drug cheat. You see how I can tear that argument apart, Halim? I know you pro Tyson Fury, but guess what? Your boy is a drug cheat. How can you say he the #1 heavyweight when he got caught cheating? And there's no telling how many times he's been using drugs before he got caught. Once a drug cheat, always a drug cheat. And I can say that for every fighter. I can say that for Roy Jones Jr. I can say that for James Lights Out Tony. I can say that for other fighters of the past. That's great. That's Hall of Famers. Well, y'all don't want to bring that shit over here, but I can tear down every. I can tear. There's holes in all your shit. Tune, what you say, my brother? You say my question is. It was said that T.O. cherry-picked Kambosos to duck Haney. That's not true. That's not true. Kambosos was a mandatory. Kambosos was a mandatory. That's not true. Teofimo did not duck Kambosos. That's not true. He was a mandatory. Teofimo was defending his title against a mandatory challenger. He was doing what a champion is supposed to do. That's not true. Kambosos to duck Haney. So how is he a world beater now that Haney beat him? Was it Kambosos and Cherry? Guess what? And you're talking about the both sides of the coin. You're right about that. You're right about that. But guess what, Toon? You can say that for every fighter. It's not just Kambosos, fam. You can say that for every fighter. You can say, well, shit, Devin Haney, he cherry-picked such and such. He don't get credit for that. You can say, well, Canelo cherry-picked this guy. He don't get credit for that. I can say, well, shit. I can say, not Terrence Crawford. I can say, well, Floyd Mayweather, he cherry-picked. He don't get credit for that. How do I know how do I know Floyd Mayweather cherry-picked? And there's certain fights that I can't give him credit for. You want to know how I know? Because he said it out of his own mouth.
But when you are put in a certain position, he should be he's able to, like me. You know, when I was in a position, I can pick and choose who I want to, because I earned that right.
I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. New media today, USA Boxing. Midnight conversation's gonna be tomorrow night. You know my motto. See you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.